Quality over quantity, my dear. Whatever were you thinking?
Welcome to the Every Effin' FG podcast. We're here talking about everyone's favorite game, of course, the game you know and love, Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
We're your number one Fall Guys podcast. I believe I'm the only one who's actually played Fall Guys, and you guys have to fucking get it.
It looks like Mario Party minigames.
I was thinking about that today because I was like...
I hate Mario Party.
No, you hate... Listen, you hate Mario Party. Do you know why you fucking hate Mario Party?
No, because I have to play it with two people. I don't like playing games with other people. That's why I play Final Fantasy.
That's fair. But the reason to hate Mario Party is because it's all dependent on like the star economy, and that shit is fucking busted and terrible. It's just like
Marx and Engels would have something to say about the star economy.
Yeah, I wonder where they would land on it, because it's like, but like at certain points, it's just like you're at the end of the fucking game, and it's like, okay, I did really well. I played my cards right. I did everything. I have 3 stars. Everyone else has like 1 star. I should win. And then it's like, now we're giving out the bonus stars. This one goes to Toad, who didn't win a single game. He gets a star because he didn't win a single game. And then this, he collected the most coins. He gets a thing, and you like lose in the last minute. And that fucking sucks. But the mini games are great.
I see.
But Fall Guys is incredible, and I can't stop playing it or thinking about it. It's got a great soundtrack.
I'm just gonna say
I feel like I spent the least amount of time
Fall Guys
this
New
week
Vegas
playing Final Fantasy X because I was focusing mainly on it. I was just completely sucked into Fall Guys. I am putting it out there, unless Alex decides to edit all this out, which would be fair. I'm putting it out there that we should all play on stream because it's incredibly fun. It's really stupid.
Yeah, fair enough.
I did download it on PS4.
Yeah, it's free on PS4.
And it does satisfy 3 of the letters of our podcast acronym. So that's 3/4 the way there.
Yeah, it's almost it's just about there.
3 guys.
Dude, it's
and
so
a baby.
much fun. And it's even more fun when you have people to play with, because then you can all just kind of like strategize together.
Just like Blitzball.
Just like Blitzball.
Just like Blitzball.
It's actually called Fall Ball in Fall Guys. I feel like this entire episode I'm going to be like, this kind of reminds me of that. I'm no longer making Dark Souls references. I am only making Fall Guys.
It's going to go from like only me and you knowing the Dark Souls to like
I'm
Alex
just
being left
talking-
out, and then Carl just making Fall Guys references.
We've been
and
slowly
me and Alex
building
just
to
being
this.
Like, well, I'm Curtis.
I'm Alex.
I'm Carl.
We did it out of order.
We did.
We also never announced the name of the actual show name, which is
No, it's Fall Guys.
Fall Guys, Fall Guys, Fall Guys.
Every Fall Guys
Coming to
podcast.
you this fall.
Every Fallen Fall Guys. That's the one.
With special guest Tim Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
But we're the Every FNFF podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We're probably going to talk about Final Fantasy and not Fall Guys anymore. I'll try to behave.
We'll see. Yeah, that remains to be seen.
I do feel like a fall guy because it is summer and I fucking hate it.
Oh, I hate summer so much.
It's so rough.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
It's so funny, too, how we, in the last spot that we were recording, like, before all the lockdowns happened, it was like, oh, it's nice and chilly in here. We'll never really have to worry about, like, the hot summer days with like, no air conditioning and stuff. Like, we finally are in a nice basement and stuff. And then all this shit happens, and we're like, well, we're going to the hottest place I can think of. The sun!
Yeah, the sandy beaches of southern Jersey.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Jersey Shore.
Oh, the
We already talked about
Your
that.
brother got crazy. Yeah, that's right. We did. Okay, I'm sorry.
So what did we do last week, boys?
Yo, we did some gardening last week. That's what we did.
Oh, yeah.
Some shucking.
Some shucking and some pruning.
No, we did. Tore them souls right out of their shells.
Hell yeah.
Feeling just fine.
Oh, you weren't talking about, you weren't talking about soul gardening. You were talking about the boss fight. I see.
Yeah. Gino.
My soul's coming out of my body, and I've been feeling just fine.
But yeah, we just got roasted by a bunch of jocks.
Damn.
Bunch
hate
of
those jocks.
Mean jocks.
See you in the finals.
Yeah, son.
That's also very presumptuous of Waka that we're going. Like, if we've never won a game,
I fucking
to
love it.
assume that we're going to be in the finals.
Dude, I love it though. Like,
I do love it. I love it.
What a good.
That was his comeback.
It was.
It was a good one too. Like just how like wholesome he was about it. He wasn't even like, yeah, we'll see you in the finals. He's just like, see you in the finals.
See you, buddy.
Not a care in the world.
But yeah, we are in Kilika Temple now.
Yeah.
Ready to do
Some Kilika Temple stuff.
some cloistering, some faithin'.
Yeah, what's Yuna got to do?
Yeah, so we heard about it a little bit that we're like the whole point right now is that Yuna's group is going on this pilgrimage. I guess technically we're not going on the pilgrimage yet. Like we're just like, oh, it turns out that the Blitzball Stadium and the pilgrimage are just taking the first 2 destination stops together.
How convenient.
So, how convenient. So we're technically not even going along with it right now. But Yuna's going to go on a pilgrimage to visit every single temple and pray at them in Spira. And in the first one, we saw that she got all the way to that back room, right?
Yeah.
Which we've heard is the Chamber of the Faith, but we really don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah.
So presumably, she's going to this temple to do the same thing. Reach the Chamber of the Faith, do some praying. If the Luca goers had anything, if they've given us any tips about what we're praying for, it's either going to be victory or for some competition this year.
Yeah. Or
So,
nothing at all.
Nothing involving sin at all.
Feels like I'm praying for nothing at all. Yeah, and so we're inside now, baby. It looks a lot like...
Very similar to the Besaid one.
It's better lit, I think. If I recall.
So the
Got nicer carpet.
It
Really ties the room together.
Instead of gentle candles now, there's like full-on open flames that are just like billowing up from different points in the room.
Yeah, and it also has less like statuary.
Yes.
Like it's not surrounding the room with like human-sized statues. Now it's just the 4 summoners, I guess.
Right. I guess we're...
And the 2 large ones that we were...
Are we to assume that there's only been 4 summoners to defeat Sin?
I believe so. I mean, we've only heard about the 4.
Yeah. Because it probably... I mean, I would
the
imagine...
Elite 4.
Ooh, Lorelei's the...
Hell yeah.
We've brought it home.
Bay.
Bay. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking, that there's probably only ever been 4 to do it, which over 1,000 years' time, that sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, how many generations is that? I feel like that's quite a few.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You could have 4 or 5 in 100 years easy.
Yeah.
So we're talking like less than 1/10 of summoners, like 1/15. One out of every 15 high summoner actually defeats Sin.
We got to do this summoner math right now. And really dig in. Carry the 1.
Carry the 1, carry my team in Blitzball. But yeah, so we go in and Waka immediately starts praying to one of the statues, right? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming Lord O'Holland, since he's praying about Blitzball, and we've heard that O'Holland was a great blitzer.
I'm assuming that it's Lord O'Holland because if you talk to Waka, he says, Lord O'Holland, guide our feet. And then gives you the option to pray or stand and watch.
I stood and watched.
I stood and watched.
Yeah, I was like, you can leave me out of your fucking ritualistic mumbo jumbo, buddy.
I'm like, I have no respect for this religion. I've proven that every fucking chance I've gotten.
He's practically doing squats, though, also. He's kind of just has this repeated animation where he gets up, he gets back down and prays, and then get back up and gets down and prays.
If you squat well enough, you get the blonde wig. And Don Corneo will choose you. I like that if you talk to Lulu, like when you're walking around waiting, she just says, I think Waka needs to do a little more praying.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What are you saying about Waka? But yeah, so once we're done with that little scene, we see 2 people walking down the stairs from the Cloister.
Yeah.
Right? And we have not seen anybody else in the Cloister yet before. And there's a woman and a big bulky man.
Big beefy boy.
A big beefum walking down. And she immediately looks at our crew and just says,
A summoner, are you?
Yeah.
and walk down to talk to us. So let's describe these colorful characters.
Yeah.
She looks like a hot dog.
She looks like a hot dog.
Oh, yeah, the way
all of
her-
her clothes are on like the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's wearing like a skirt that only works as the sides. Like, so like the like assless chaps thing like is just really big in this region.
And her top is only on the side as well.
Yeah. And
But she's like wearing a bikini basically underneath it.
yeah, exactly. And they're just kind of like crisscrossing like.
It looks like a hot dog.
You know what else looks like a hot dog? One of the skins that you can get in Fall Guys.
Okay.
You can play as a hot dog.
Okay.
She has an inexplicable red bow on the back.
It's like
Oh
oh god, there's a fucking name for that.
Well, it's like made of rope.
It's made of rope. There's
Doesn't look like it's actually holding anything
You
together.
can add us on Twitter for what is that shamanistic rope?
Oh yeah. I should know this because I did spend a couple years as like an altar server. So like those ropes, like those ceremonial ropes you had to tie as like a belt or whatever.
yeah.
And like I think the priests also had to wear that. And I should know what they are, but I fucking don't.
I think you can put one on your character in the Soul Calibur 6 character customization menu.
Hell yeah.
But like most belts, it's completely decorative.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
has no
yeah.
function.
And
No.
it's kind of tied in almost a way that looks like butterfly wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then she has like, what would you call them? Purple like arm warmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an 80s jazzercise
Yeah.
video.
Those are pretty big around here in Spira.
They are very big in Spira. That is a real to do.
Big in influence and actual size.
And then yeah,
And then she's got Link's golden gauntlets from Ocarina of Time
Yeah.
to help her lift the heaviest thing you can.
and then the guy behind her is just a great big boy.
He just looks like He-Man.
He looks like He-Man.
Yeah, he's got He-Man's physique, but the face of a much dumber man.
Like Conan. He's got a Conan face.
Yeah. And he's got
He-Man bod.
a Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber haircut.
But yeah, so she walks down to meet us, and Yuna kind of walks up to her, right? Because I guess she's addressing Yuna. And Yuna says, "Oh, my name's Yuna from the Isle of Besaid," and we learned this character's name is Donna.
I thought you were going to do a rap. My name is Yuna from the Island
My
of Besaid.
name is Yuna from the Isle of Besaid. And
Like praying in a major way.
Brilliant.
fucking send that one to Anthony Fantano, boy. Ready to go.
So, you're High Summon Nebraska's daughter. That's quite a name to live up to.
My. Which, like, at first I was like, she's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Because she knows who it is and everything. How kind. And then she looks at the Guardians, like, and goes, "And all these people are your Guardians? My, what a rabble." I was like, "You fucking jerk ass. I don't even know you."
Yeah, she's like, cool, nice posse of guardians. I have one.
Yeah, I know. She literally says that. Yeah. She just goes like, Lord Brask only had 2 Guardians. Quality over quantity, my dear. What were you thinking? Like, and she says it like,
Whatever were you thinking?
but I will say,
Bad look?
this scene is like the scene where I was like, Yuna's a great character. Like,
Yeah.
Yuna fucking rules because of this scene. Because like, I'm gonna astrally project myself into Final Fantasy X, right? Now I'm in Final Fantasy X.
You're gonna
And I just
skidoo.
go, fuck you, you fucking asshole. Get the fuck out of here. And then I make a fucking scene and I like fucking cry a little bit. And,
Yeah.
and it's fucking terrible.
You
But,
kick
like,
one of the statues and like really hurt your foot,
Yeah,
but
I
you
know.
try acting like you didn't hurt your foot.
That's exactly right. I get really flustered. But like, mwah, chef's kiss, Yuna's comeback here. Which isn't even really a comeback. That's why it's so good. But
Yeah, that's why she's so good.
Yuna says, "I only have as many guardians as there are people I can trust. I trust them all with my life. To have so many guardians is a joy and an honor, even more than being my father's daughter."
Of course, I would never think of questioning your ways either. So, Lady Donna, I ask of you, please leave us in peace.
Ooh, ah!
Get fucked.
Get fucked, but like in a very genuine, like,
Yeah. Kill him with kindness.
oh, yo, she fucking murdered and dismembered this lady with kindness. Like,
We're a polycule.
and she just says, "Do what you want, Barthelo. We're leaving."
I love that his name's Barthelo. That's very Shakespearean.
I know, yeah.
Donna and Barthelo.
Barthelo, which he looks like Dolph Lundgren.
You say Darth? No, wait.
Darth Lundgren.
Lundgren. All right, now's the time. Oh, Donna. Oh, Donna. I had a summoner. Donna was her name. And I miss my Aeon. Sorry. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. Barthelo does not talk. He just shakes his head and grunts, right?
Barthelo is a
Real Kamari energy.
I was gonna say a real Silent Bob type.
Well, Kamari has a much more knowing energy about him.
Yeah,
And Barthelo
yeah.
seems kind of clueless.
Yeah, absolutely. He
Yeah.
just
You
seems
just
like
go,
vacant.
They both have mad stoic energy. Let's put it
Right.
that way. That's the
Yeah.
thing that they share in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. He is kind of like, he has the dumb muscle head kind of thing going on. Except, well, actually, I mean, we really don't know anything about him though from this scene. You know what I mean?
Just from his one grunt and head shake, it just
Yeah,
not-
he just grunts and.
Just like most of the Aurochs.
And when he shakes his head, yes, he moves his entire upper body up and down.
too much neck muscle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
know,
can't
yeah.
move his neck unless it's to like flex.
He didn't do any stretching.
Yeah, and I don't think we really talked about what he looks like specifically like with his clothing, but he's wearing like Majin Buu pants and then like no shirt, but he has like almost like holsters like crisscrossing around.
That's
his
what I meant by
chest.
the He-Man look. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also wearing purple, which we also noticed that the goers are. So that seems to be like a
Luca thing.
like a Luca affiliation kind of thing because he's got like little yellow like semicircle or like a backward C and then a C next to each other, which I think is also what the goers have.
Parentheses
Yes.
around his crotch.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
A good set of dick parentheses.
Parenthetical dick.
We get a little narration from Titus here. He says, "A guardian is someone a summoner can rely on, someone she can trust with her life."
I wondered, did Yuna feel that way about me?
And then she turns and looks at him, and she
Yeah.
goes, "Here." He's narrating. He goes, "What is she smiling at?"
Yeah, real grade school dance energy. I feel
She's
like.
just like looking straight at him and just being real, real cute about it.
This scene is like directly ripped from like the Wonder Years, where it's just like the narrator talking over. I wonder what she was smiling about.
Well, what she's smiling about is she just turned around.
She
and
just farted. She
It's a lot
farted
better
on
than what I was
Donna.
gonna say. I was gonna be like, she just fucking tore the summoner a new asshole, and it's just turning back to look at her team and be like, "Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
Did you see how I handled that?"
Hell yeah.
She who censored it, dispensered it.
I like that. I like that a lot. Anyway, so now we are able to run up those stairs and go into the Cloister of Trials.
Yeah. Oh wait, we can actually walk around as
You
well.
son of a
There are some of those small statues, so I was wrong about that. But not as many.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Not as many. You can also talk to two people there, and they don't really have anything interesting to say. But
I think one of them was like, "Are you a blitzer or a guardian? Don't tell me you're both."
don't tell me you're both. Yeah, and then the other guy says, "Yeah, teamwork and trust are the key elements for both guardians and blitzers."
God, that's ours. That's the spirit of us in Final Fantasy X. Is some fucking random NPC just being like, "I love friendship." Fucking love that shit. Guys, I am feeling jacked up on friendship right now.
Yeah, me too.
Hell yeah.
It's a good day for friendship.
It's literally the only thing we have to get us through these next 4 gruesome fucking years.
Yep.
The economy is such shit. We have to be a guardian and a blitzer.
Pulling double shifts with a skeleton crew
Or
of
if Titus
3
has,
other guardians.
But yeah, so we're able to go up into the cloister now.
Yeah.
Waka says,
The faith is below. Let's do it.
The faith?
Then Lulu says, but first, the Cloister of Trials. Kamari, Waka, ready?
And Yuna says, "Strength, everyone."
Yeah, and everyone gets on the elevator. And we
Everybody
join them.
gets on the elevator.
We join them. We
Yeah.
stand on there, and then Kamari just fucking shoves Titus off the elevator.
and it's like a real harsh shove. He
Yeah.
just hits him right in the fucking chest and knocks him off the elevator.
Yeah, and Titus is like, "Hey, what gives?" And then Lulu says,
You're not a guardian yet.
and then Yuna says, "We'll be back as soon as we can, okay?" And then
The elevator actually goes down.
yeah, leaving Titus behind, and then he says, "Oh, sure, soon, like tomorrow, soon." I bet.
"You were a member of the council, but you're not yet the rank of guardian."
Yeah, and then we're just kind of in this little pre-cloister area, and the elevator's not there, and we can.
We're in an atrium of the elevator.
Yeah, we're in the elevator atrium, and we can walk back and forth, but
You can't go
we
anywhere.
can't do anything.
You
we
have
can't
to
go
wait
back
until
out.
the elevator comes back up, and even then you can't get on it.
Yeah, exactly. I think when you try to go on it, then that's what triggers this next little
Yeah.
scene where
Donna and fucking Bartello come back.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Barthello?
Barthello, yeah.
Bartello.
I think it's Barthello.
I'm gonna say it with a decently hard T. Barthello.
You're going to do it's Sicilian pronunciation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Donna says, "Where's Yuna?"
She's he's waving at the
Yeah.
they went that way or whatever.
Yeah, and then she says, "Then why are you here?" And he says,
Hey, I'm not a guardian, so I'm not supposed to go in, right?
"Well, at least he knows that now."
Yeah, I know.
Which is
yeah.
funny too, because he still tried to.
I know.
Well, he didn't really know.
Yeah,
They didn't,
I
like-
could see how
He's
if
like,
you weren't
oh,
thinking
all of my
about
friends
it.
are
Yeah,
all of my friends are
exactly.
going. But then Donna says,
Oh, no, you're an intern.
yeah, not a guardian. You
Friends
say.
is a strong word for us right now.
But yeah, Donna says, not a guardian, you say. And then like Barthelo just like walks up and fireman carries Titus like over
He, like,
his
picks him
shoulder.
up, yeah.
And Titus is like, hey, what's going on? Like,
Let me go. What's the
wait.
big idea?
Yeah. And then Barthelo just like walks onto the elevator, like throws Titus onto the elevator and it starts descending.
Yeah, yeah. And
Donna
she goes,
says,
Just a little game.
yeah, and
Yeah,
as it goes
yeah.
down, Titus is like, this is bad, really bad.
so why'd they come back?
I don't, well, I guess they came back to
She was like, no, I'm not going to let Yuna own me like that.
she
I
did
gotta
like
get
the,
one.
I just thought of
I
a
just
good
thought-
comeback.
It's
And
like
the other thing.
The sideshow bot, Marge, stay away from my son again. No.
We get down here and
Oh, I'll
immediately
stay
walk.
away from your son. Stay away forever.
No, that wasn't very good.
Yeah, wait, that wasn't very good. Yeah, so, so she came back sideshow Bob style on us. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what they fucking have to gain by throwing Titus down here. Because, like,
I think they're like, oh, well, we can just fuck with her whole group because we'll we'll have him break the rules because he's with her.
yeah, I guess so.
She's
But,
like, surely this will get Titus in trouble. Surely
Yeah.
no one would ever go to a place in a temple that they're not supposed to go.
Yeah, I guess actually we will get a little bit of an answer for that coming up here.
Yeah, I think we
next
do.
scene. Yeah, you're
I
right.
think we do.
Okay. But it was kind of weird because I was
It's
like,
weird that they
we
come
haven't-
back.
We haven't even beefed with these people that badly. Like
Yeah.
they were kind of jerks to us, and then we just like very peaceably was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. And then like they're just being fucking assholes. Like what the fuck is it about people from Luca?
Yeah, man. Jeez. It's like it's kind of clunky character development where they're like, oh no, we want you to hate these characters.
God, they're all acting like they're from Jersey. Boom, boom. Put in the fucking air horns right here. I like that. Like once you go down though into the cloister, if you try to get back on the elevator, Titus looks up and goes, "Come on, go up, go up." He's like trying to get the elevator to rise.
Yeah, so at least he's trying to not break the rules this time.
Right.
He's learned a little.
He's learned a little. He's become a little more human.
But now we're in another between area between the elevator and the actual cloister entrance, I think.
Yeah. And like the architecture is a little bit different. Like it does feel like we're in like deep in a temple now.
Very underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
Which makes
cool,
sense
like-
because we were at the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go up any higher.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But it's cool. There are like little like cylinders along this little walkway that have like fire in them.
Yeah.
And it looks like those orbs, and the orbs are on fire. As a matter of fact, like the ones we found in the first cloister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting if true.
But we go up to the door that's actually going to allow us into the cloister proper. And we get an option to go inside or wait here. And you can say wait here, but it doesn't do you any
Yeah, I don't
good.
think-
Eventually you have
Oh.
to progress.
I thought that was it. I haven't gotten any farther.
You say wait here and then credits. The end credits just roll.
Yeah,
just
Playing
like
through
there.
Xanarkin.
Yeah, you Far Cry 4'd it.
Yeah, you park right before you just wait for pagan men to come
And
back.
everyone comes back and like, oh, hey, good. Like,
Yeah.
If you go to your system settings and change your clock 24 hours, then everyone just comes out.
they're all wrinkly and old.
The end is dead, and also you have a lot more turnips now.
Have either of you seen that? There's a review on Amazon for Link to the Past, where someone left a 1-star review because the first scene is like, you're supposed to stay here, and he just doesn't do anything. Like, I don't see what the big deal about this game is. Like, there's nothing to it. Like, I just wait and he never comes back.
Oh, that's so good.
That's so good.
I'm not gonna break the rules that my uncle just set for me.
Yeah.
Always listen to your uncle.
But eventually you have to go inside, and Titus says, only guardians allowed, and I'm sure no guardian. Well, it's too late now.
Yeah.
And he opens the door and goes in. And oddly, all of the puzzles are in their positions ready for us to solve.
Just like last time.
Just like last time. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like I said, it's like escape room. There's like hidden doors that people come out and reset it as soon as they're done.
well, they must have infinite.
Stage crew comes out.
Yeah, they must have infinite spheres then to be able to do this because, as we'll point out at the end of this.
Yeah, it's just like the gift shop. They got them everywhere.
Yeah, they got them everywhere. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a national treasure where they just got the copy, like the fake Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. But our first not puzzle in this room, but it's just a single room that we walk into, and it's just showing us one of the things about this cloister, right?
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, fire. So there's a pedestal with one sphere in it. It's red, and then there's a door with a slot for a sphere next to it. So all we can really do now is take that sphere out and put it in the slot. And this is a Kilika sphere. And as we learn from when we put it in the slot, the whole door just burns down.
Yeah, it's also important to note that like it's in one of these pedestal things, but there's like fire coming up as if it's like a torch.
Right.
Kind of like you were saying on the way leading up here. So we take that out, the torch
Like a Hellboy with his little with his horns, little flame high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's hell yeah. I like that reference. It took me a minute to get it, but
Yeah, a little floaty flame.
yeah. So when you take the Kilika sphere out, the flame goes away. So clearly it's like, oh, I'm transferring this flame somewhere. And like you were saying, when you put it in the door, the whole door just like gets engulfed in flames.
Right.
And then there's like a weird like little grid pattern there.
Yeah.
Like a mesh. And I was like, oh, okay. So like that's the wiring that holds together the cloth of this
Yeah,
door.
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
The flint or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
But then I guess you have to take it out to turn it off.
Yeah, so you,
Yeah, because you can't walk through it while it's still on fire, so you actually have to remove the sphere from the door to get through.
Yeah, so I did that initially, and then I was like, oh wait, I want to see if I can like take damage from the fire or something, because that's a thing that RPGs do. Like that's a thing that Final Fantasy games do. So I put it back in and then tried it, and I was like, oh, nothing happens. It's just actually it's acting like it's a door.
0 out of 10. Play a different Final Fantasy. I mentioned this a little bit in our first Cloister episode that I was like, some of the Cloisters are pretty good. I don't know if I like this one very much.
Yeah, this one doesn't really have much going for it.
Yeah,
Especially the second pillar. There's a reset button for it, and it just moves it. It moves it closer.
Yeah.
So we get to the second room.
3 walls.
3 walls
that have 3 sphere
slots,
receptacles.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And a pillar with a glyph sphere in it.
Yeah.
And the trick or the puzzle is to put the glyph sphere in the right one. So
it's trial and error.
You just trial and error it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you put the glyph in the
northern one.
The forward-facing one.
Yeah.
But you can't do anything else until you actually touch the glyph, right?
Yeah. So once you put it in there, you then have to touch the glyph to be able to make that wall raise up. And that's the thing is like these puzzles are very just trial and error-y, which like is fine.
It's like a brute force thing.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's just.
I mean, this kind of taught me, I guess, like okay, maybe in later puzzles I will have to use a glyph sphere to make a glyph show. Or,
Yeah.
which is just
Like,
as an
which
extra
I
step
think-
to opening a door. You could just
Yeah.
like make it open.
And I think that like was kind of also in the first one that we did, where we had to make a glyph appear and then touch it, but like it doesn't really like tutorialize all that well because like I just kind of like stumbled into the solution. Like I put the glyph sphere in. I got some funny dialogue at one point where I put the glyph sphere in the wrong one.
Yeah.
And then like a glyph started glowing on the wall, and then when you tried to like interact with it, it says the glyph repels you.
Yeah. So that allows us into the next room. And this is the room that I have a fucking problem
Is
with.
this the last room?
Yeah, this is the last room. Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing is not so bad. So this room is we start out in an elevated area, have to walk down some stairs, and there's just a fucking shit ton of fire down those stairs, right? So we can't walk down there.
Divides the whole room.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looks
can't
like a Demon Souls area.
Yeah. And there's clearly a like a line of magical energy on the wall that's drawn going to a slot with a Kilika sphere. So at least this does make some sense of like, okay, I'm going to take out the Kilika sphere. No problem. Easy peasy, right? And we do. And the fire goes out and lifts the wall up, right?
Yeah.
And
Not the wall that we were expecting to.
not the wall we were expecting to. Yeah, the actual wall, like,
So like, wait, this isn't the way that out.
yeah. It kind of gets us into like a little cubby hole area.
Yeah, like a side room, like a closet.
Yeah, and we can grab the destruction sphere for
the
this.
pantry.
Yeah, the pantry. And we can grab the destruction sphere for this cloister from there. Now, here's the fucking part of this that I hate. Like we were talking about, like, good puzzles will tutorialize through, like, small showings. So, like, the first room of this, it's a good tutorial. It shows us what Kilika spheres do, right?
Yeah.
And it taught us to take the Kilika sphere out to get rid of that fire that was here. In the first cloister, it said shiny spots on the floor are reset panels. So if you move something incorrectly, you can reset it. So if you step on this one, the pillar from the room before you gets warped into the room where you are now, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't really reset it.
It
so it's
actually
already kind of-
moved it to a completely different spot.
Yeah, so
Which-
that's
So
already...
Yuna moved it somewhere.
And then
Right.
We forgot to reset it.
Yeah.
that's the reasoning. Yeah. But yeah, logic would like dictate like, oh, okay, so this torch thing needs to be in this room.
Yeah.
I need to do something with this torch in this room.
So I would spend so fucking long pushing this fucking pillar around and putting different
Resetting
spheres in
it, yeah.
Well,
resetting it, trying to
yeah.
figure out what the fuck to do.
Putting
Well, I
different
just-
spheres in it too, because like the first room was just like, oh, I just need to try and see what works.
Exactly.
With, like the
Well-
the Kilika sphere versus the glyph sphere, and then oh, now I have a destruction sphere. So I did a lot of running around.
Same.
And actually, like accidentally, like went. I was like, okay, maybe I need to use the destruction sphere in the next room. And I went to the next room, and it just immediately kicked me into like the next part of the thing, and then I couldn't get back. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna look up what I was supposed to do
Yeah,
and
right.
see if it was worth it. And I was just
Yeah.
like, I'll talk to the guys and see if it's worth
Okay,
it,
yeah.
and then like maybe reload a save. But I didn't solve this. I know how you solve it, and I was like, oh, that's really dumb.
But I mean, I had no problem figuring out where the pillar went because right where the reset button is, there's like a receptacle, a square on the ground that you're just supposed to push it in.
Yeah.
Well, that square is the reset button. You're
Yeah,
supposed to push the fucking pillar on top of the reset button.
Wait,
Yeah,
that's
which-
where you're supposed to push it? I thought it was
Yes.
supposed to go in like the one a couple rooms away.
No, you put
What
it,
the fuck?
You put the pillar on the reset button.
That's stupid.
It's so fucking stupid.
I thought it was like, oh, that room that it was in at first, you have to put the right sphere in it and then put it in the
Yeah.
the little thing on the ground that looks like this is where a pillar should go.
Well, I was like, okay. The reason that I didn't like this or whatever, I was like, okay, so the reset button's there in case I make any mistakes, and like the last thing you would want to do,
is block that.
block your reset button because then you can't.
Then
get
you soft
anything.
lock and you can't. Yeah.
You can't get the thing you want. So like try literally everything else. Looked it up online and then saw that was what you do, and I was like, fuck this game.
So does it need a destruction sphere? In
Well,
it?
now I'm curious. How did you know to do it, Alex?
I just saw that there's a square because when I put it like, oh, it just
God
moved it,
gamer.
it just moved it closer to the spot. So because I think the idea is like, I think maybe what they thought is like, oh, there's a spot for a pillar here, but where do I get the pillar? Like, oh, there's a reset button here. Maybe it'll just appear, and then it does.
How is the spot? Well, I don't see a reset button as a spot for a pillar.
I don't either, but I didn't see. I saw the square before I noticed that there was a reset button.
Well, who's got the God Gamer trophy right now? It's time to hand it over to
It's
Alex.
definitely Alex.
You probably already had it.
So you
But
push it on the shiny thing?
yeah.
What the fuck?
Which is just to the right until basically next to the door that we whatever.
Yeah.
But the one I needed help with was find the secret because the destruction sphere so far has been like, oh, this is to find optional loot.
Do get all the optional loot in these cloisters because it opens up something for us at the end game.
Okay, so I should go back and reload.
You should go back and reload. Now, here's the thing. You can get back in there end game, but a lot of these temples have fucking ultra bosses like Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon blocking them.
Ugh.
And so, like, you're like, well, I can't get back in here until I've grinded for 80 fucking hours.
I don't drive as much anymore, so I don't know if I can get stuck in traffic. So I can. That's the
Beat
strat
these
that I
bosses.
have to use to beat Ruby Weapon.
Yeah.
So
But I needed
boy.
some help with from one of our friends when I was on stream because like, okay, I've done everything else here, but I still don't know what this destruction sphere is for. But apparently, when you put the pillar in the right spot, the pillar lowers on the
Yes.
section of floor that was on. And next to that, you can almost miss it, basically right where the firewall is. There's another receptacle that you're supposed to put the
Yes.
the destruction sphere in, and then that wall just explodes. And
Yeah.
yeah,
and then there's some loot in there, and I forget what it is.
It's actually
the red armlet.
Yeah, and it's actually decent. I have what
Yeah.
it does here. It was for me. It was my first accessory, Kamari, because I didn't buy anything. Like I said last time, I didn't
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
buy any of the accessories or weapons. But this has fire ward, ice ward, and lightning ward.
Oh shit! I
so
didn't realize.
Kamari becomes real strong to elements.
I
if
wa-
you put that.
I went to the like Final Fantasy like wiki like fandom or whatever, and I was looking it up, and that one's not as unless I was like looking in the wrong spot. That one's not as compiled as well as the Final Fantasy VII one.
Yeah.
So I saw that it was the red armlet, and I'm like, okay, surrounded by fire. I just got a thing for Titus that does null flame
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Red
right.
armlet accessory for Kamari probably just does flame. Not worth it.
Yeah, but it actually wards against everything with the exception of water.
Nice, which makes
Yeah.
sense. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So I will be going back to get that. And I will probably, by the time I go back to do that, I will forget the actual solution. And probably, it'll still take me like 15 minutes for
remember that reset button, baby.
these. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Fine.
It's
So
fine.
when I get there, I have to hit the reset button on my Nintendo Switch. Got it.
yeah, all right.
So shall we continue to the next space?
We shall. And the thing that I wanted to talk about as we continue to the next room is The other aspect of this whole puzzle is doing a little bit of sphere economy, putting this sphere here, putting this sphere here. And I just took a sphere with me.
Same.
I was just like, "Oh, I guess I'm stealing this fire sphere. Bye."
I didn't even
Kilika
think of
sphere.
that, but I'm looking at my screenshot and I'm just holding the glowing Kilika sphere as I walk off to the thing. And then I was like, yeah, I never fucking got rid of that.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying like, oh, they must just have an infinite like supply of Kilika spheres because I just took one with me.
Yeah, this puzzle sucks. Because you would think, like, okay, you won't be able to leave with the sphere. Like, anytime you go up to, like, a thing to investigate and see what it is, it's like, you can only carry one sphere at a time. So you would think if you're walking
use all
out
of
of the
them or something,
puzzle
yeah.
while holding it, it'll be like, you must place that back.
Right.
Somewhere or something. But instead, it's just like, here's a cutscene, you can't go back, fuck you. You missed the loot, you missed the
Whatever, you
in-game
know what? I got
content.
away with it as far. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we walk into this next room, and the other guardians, Wakalulu and Kimari, are just like standing around the door to the faith, which like we're trying
Kamari's got a cup and ball that he's just playing with to try and pass the time.
You never know which way this crazy thing's gonna go. But and there's that door that we kind of described last time as looking almost like a shield.
Yeah.
That is blocking the way to the chamber of the faith. And I like that if you walk as you start walking up, Waka sees you and he goes,
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
he's like so disappointed sounding. He's like, you
God damn
dumbass, I
it.
thought I taught you.
Again, dude.
Again.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah,
But yeah, he
I
also
know.
like has his hand over his head, like he's face palming.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, dude.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
on.
He's so
Dude, you
disappointed.
gotta start being cool. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends way too much. Kamari's laughing at me, dude. I'm trying to impress him.
He doesn't laugh at anybody. And Titus says,
It was Donna and that big muscle-head man.
To be described as a musclehead man.
yeah, oh man, that's our goal for 2021. Be musclehead men.
And by that I mean the only muscle that matters, the brain, baby.
There
Trying
we
to get
go.
smart as shit.
Yeah. And then Lulu says, Yuna will be the one to suffer the consequences. And we alluded to this a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
like, oh, what would be...
What's gonna happen? What the fuck are they gonna do?
Oh, yeah, and what would Donna and Barthelo gain from throwing Titus
Yeah.
down here, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Titus says, what consequences? And Waka says, she could be excommunicated.
Yeah.
So, like, in that light, I'm like, oh, shit. They were trying to, like, get rid of Yuna. Like,
Yeah.
excommunicate her.
Sabotage.
There can be only one summoner.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking wild too to think about like the weird like politics of like
Yeah.
this world where of like Spira where it's like, okay, we have a holy mission that we need to accomplish. There's this thing called
So much for unity of the left, I suppose.
for unity.
Oh!
But yeah, it's like, okay, we're all in this together. We have to take down this giant fucking monster that like no one can kill, that literally just
Yeah.
like leveled an entire fucking island. Like everyone's dying to this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna thin our numbers out.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was
The
like,
infighting must stop.
it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, like fucking asshole.
Like you're ruining your chances at success.
Yeah.
By doing this, like you're making it so much harder. Yo, this
it's like if
Donna
you,
gonna
like,
end up crushed on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, it's like if like you start Zelda and the old man is like, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this," and you're like, "No, fuck you." And then
Fuck
you, like,
you, old man.
Storm out.
I got these two weapons right here.
Yeah.
Mwah, mwah, for the listener, mwah, I'm kissing my fists. Mwah.
Very, very intimidating looking, actually.
It's weird to become like, basically want to become the Pope for glory.
Isn't that what it's always about? Shots fired at John Paul II.
Yeah, get him.
I didn't come here to make friends, goddammit. This week on Survivor.
Oh my god. Battle against sin, final destination, no items. So anyway, after that, it's weird because like the conversation just ends right after that, and we can now walk around and talk to our various party members.
This and like the next section of the game has a lot of times where you just have to like twiddle your thumbs and just be persistent.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
progress the story.
And the way my
The
brain
one thing
works,
Titus is bad at, patience.
yeah, the way my brain works too, I'm like, this would fucking suck in a speed run.
Yeah.
We're like, well, I just stand here.
Dude, the speed
until-
run for 10 is like 10 plus hours.
Oh,
It's gnarly.
yep, I know.
Shout outs to Camper
With a 4.
with a 4 for doing Nemesis percent.
Yo, fuck yeah. Holy
17
shit.
hour speed run.
Goddamn.
What a king.
Hell yeah.
What a fucking What a Aeon among men. Incredible.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So if you talk to Waka, he just tells you to wait. And Titus says, so what's in there anyway, pointing to the Chamber of the Faith. And Waka says, the Faith, remember? And he's like,
It says right in the door, Chamber of the Faith.
It says right on the door, power room. God damn it, Titus.
But Lulu explains what the Faith are. And so we actually get our explanation here of what Yuna is kind of doing and what she's communicating with and praying to in these rooms.
The Faith are people who gave their lives to battle sin. Yevon took their souls, willingly given from their still living bodies.
Metal.
Fucking metal.
So metal for God.
Now they live forever, trapped in statues.
Yeah.
But when a summoner beckons, the souls of the Faith emerge once again. And that's what we call an Aeon. There we go. We got the explanation for Aeons
Hell yeah.
and Faith.
Hell
So
yeah.
Aeons are like a reincarnated, like fallen warrior of
Yeah.
to defeat sin.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
I like the point about given from their still living bodies.
They're like Dark Souls bosses, but good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. I
I'm
don't
cool
know
with
anything
it.
about it.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that.
I agree.
Which Aeon is...
I wonder if you can take an Aeon and just like forge it into like a great shield or something. You just consume it to get more sphere grid levels.
We don't have it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and say for any listeners or anybody who's played it, Bahamut is definitely the Artorias
Oh, hell
of
yeah.
this game.
Fuck
So.
yeah. Imagine being a great fucking warrior and like allowing God to rip your soul out and like
Now you're a Pokemon.
manifest you into a fucking like Aeon, and then you come back as like Carnbunkle or like Fat Chocobo plus Moogle.
Oh, God, are you kidding? I would fucking love to come back to life as Fat Chocobo
I
plus
want to be.
Moogle.
I want to be Fat Chocobo so fucking bad.
Roko Gordo.
Big Chungus Chocobo.
God, if only. If only.
like to be a
You know what? I think this is the moment in my life where I understand. I think I have a persona now.
Hell yeah.
Chocobo.
It's Fat Chocobo.
Hell yeah.
So what's Yuna doing in there?
She prays with all her heart for a way to defeat sin.
The chamber beyond is a sacred place. Only summoners may enter.
And Titus is like, what, Guardians can't go? And Waka just says,
It's taboo.
Yeah, it's taboo.
yeah, the way it's a taboo, boo boo.
Titus just says, oh.
I love that explanation and everything, though. I think that's a
That's
really
really
cool part of
cool,
this game.
yeah.
It's like the coolest lore we've gotten from FF10 thus far, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
like it.
I also like when there's like, okay, so Aeons are a trope in Final Fantasy where you get summoned spirits. Like
yeah.
we've seen it in, countless other Final Fantasy games. And I just love when there's like an actual way to like make that exist like kind of organically in this world.
Right.
Where you're like, this is where these come from.
Another thing about that is that when we got Velfor, I like offhandedly mentioned, because I read it in the wiki, that like, oh, Velfor is canonically a she. And the thing is,
yeah.
like, they are, even though they're like these monsters, they're technically still the people who are in there.
Hell yeah.
In these statues, right? So like that's their form. So they kind of have like a nice personality to them in a way, like the summons have in this game that the other Final Fantasies don't necessarily. Like,
Yeah.
they're characters of their own.
Hell
and that's really cool.
Nice.
But and if you talk to Kamari, he just shoves you again.
Oh, he shoves you?
He does.
Yeah, every time you try to go in the door.
That's
Yeah,
so
he just
good.
goes "Pff," and just shoves you away.
Fucking
So good.
rules.
Another weird thing: the only way to advance this scene is to try to leave.
Yeah.
I hate it when
I
games
hate
do that.
shit. Yeah, and then like it's like, okay, that's how you advance and stuff, and then it's like, but I'm also trying to just see what more of this like area I can explore.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, nope, you're this single use room that you can only come to like once pretty much a playthrough. Now you're just out of it now.
Yep.
It's weird that like the mechanic depends on you getting like bored or frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and being like, well, I guess maybe I've missed a trigger somewhere
Yeah.
back here. Yeah.
It's I feel like that's kind of very much like an of its time sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe so.
I think that was pretty common back then. And it's frustrating now because you're like, oh well, we have like
Yeah,
time can pass and we can do
Right.
that and stuff. But
But the door to the chamber opens. Yuna comes out looking haggard as fuck as always.
Yeah.
Just like limping
limping
along.
a little bit, yeah.
Yep.
She just played like 10 straight rounds of Ring Fit.
And I guess because of the narration coming up here, it's important to say that in this chamber we're hearing the Hymn of the Faith again.
Yeah.
And each hymn
The
of
Halo theme.
the Halo theme.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Each Hymn of the Faith for each different temple has different lyrics to it.
Oh, interesting.
The fuck out! How about that?
So it's not just.
I mean, it is, but it's slightly different.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
They have a different singer, I think.
I don't
sometimes,
know
too.
why.
yeah.
Which maybe I'll have to go listen again to the Valfor one, but because it could be cool that it would imply it's actually them singing.
I think it may be.
Yeah, could be.
Because
I
I,
know
think
there's-
this one's like a masculine voice.
Okay, yeah. The thing is, I think the last one was a female singing,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
When I tried to do like the melody thing and singing it, like I realized that I basically. I basically just did like the song that Doug Funny would hear anytime Patty Mayonnaise walked in. Titus just hears that when he sees Yuna. Now I want to like remix that to be like the Halo theme. But it's like it's Patty Mayonnaise and Master Chief's armor.
Just Patty Mayonnaise as Cortana. Right? So she comes out and
Skeeter 117.
she like falls to her knees, and Lulu and Waka kind of go to attend her to help her, right?
Yeah.
And we get some narration again, and Titus says, "There was something I didn't tell anyone else that day. The song we heard in there in the temple, I knew it from my childhood.
Yeah.
It was proof that Spira and Xanarkand were connected somehow. At least it was to me. And maybe that's why suddenly I felt like I just wanted to go home. I tried to say something to tell them, but the words wouldn't come."
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. I love
It's
that
so
Titus
good.
knows that song.
Yeah.
Why would he know that song?
It's like that time when I got like sucked into another dimension and I was at this like weird church with a bunch of new friends and I just heard softly in the distance, "Fly, eagles, fly on the road to
I thought you were going to go, Flanders. But you know what I love about this is it once again calls into question what the fuck happened to Titus. Because if we're really 1,000 years in the future and the faith or a sin thing, they wouldn't have had the hymn.
Yeah.
Before
and
there
just,
was
like,
sin.
The weird like Venn diagram that's happening of like this religion of like Yevon and Blitzball where it's like, okay, well, the sign for victory in Blitzball is this.
Yeah.
Like, I know this song from my childhood. Like,
Maybe it's like 1,000 years ago, Yevon decided to start a religion. And he was just like, what do I base my religion around? Well, I only care about one thing. The Dougals, baby.
go-goers. It's like jock Scientology.
Yeah, right. And then we get to name our new Aeon.
Hell yeah.
We haven't seen it, but we do get the little icon.
Yeah, we didn't see it, but it
A
immediately pops up.
a familiar friend.
I actually like that they didn't show us the Aeon. We just get it in a scene, like in a naming scene, and I was like, oh, you know, like it's a very cool way to do it. And I named this Aeon Titty Boy.
Fuck. For some reason,
that's Titus's nickname.
It's Tibby. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just left it default because I like
What is that default name?
it is Ifrit,
Oh, Ifrit!
an old friend.
What are we at the first 5 minutes of Final Fantasy VIII?
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
ayo.
We got to go and get some fish fins.
Yeah. That's a good joke. Trust me. But yeah, we get Ifrit now.
Yeah.
So we got firepower.
Did you name your
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
For some reason, I have such a reverence for Ifrit, probably because like my introduction to the Final Fantasy series was Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
And within the first like 10 minutes, you get Ifrit.
Yeah.
I think that's like also the first one you get in the remake as well. In seven,
Yes,
seven
I think
remake.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big buff fiery boy.
Unless it might be Shiva.
yeah.
No. I think you can add it.
No,
Shiva-
Shiva's optional.
Yeah, she was optional.
yeah.
But
Not in my eyes. God damn it.
so if Ifrit is fire, is Valfor just kind of like a grab bag
wind?
of
Non-elemental.
Oh, non-elemental. Yeah, that
a
makes sense.
normal type?
Normal type.
Like Jigglypuff against the ghostly Gengar. That battle's real tough.
Uh,
Thunderbolt's a great electric attack until you get ground down by a Marowak. I know that whole fucking song.
I can't do the things you do. Show me your power deep inside.
To be a master.
Are you loyal through and through?
To Be Amassed is such a good
Do
song.
you have a heart that's true? What kind of Pokemon are you? Anyway, so we're outside the temple. It immediately warps us outside. And it kind of shows us all walking away from it very cool style.
Yeah.
Very Armageddon, Bruce Willis's team walking to
Ah.
the rocket ship.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Anyway, and all the people there are like kind of cheering for Yuna. They run up to talk to her.
Yeah, some of them are doing like the prayer victory sign thing.
Buy my blitzball and all that shit.
And Titus has a little bit of a flashback from it, seeing all the people surrounding Yuna, right?
Yeah.
And he kind of like thinks back to a time when he was in Xanarkand, and he just told us he's missing home.
Yeah, he's getting very like nostalgic because he keeps seeing similarities.
He's literally viewing this scene through a sepia filter, like quite literally.
He has put on his rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, and he sees he's imagining all the people surrounding him when he would be going to like blitzball games and stuff like that, right?
Again, it's only him.
Yeah, only him. Yeah. And he says, I thought I had put my feelings for Xanarkand behind me, but they were there, and they just grew inside me bigger and bigger till I was ready to burst. And I love his fucking animation in this scene. He's like doing fist pumps and like pointing at people and just being really excited. And then at some point, like, I guess there's like some crowd interaction, and his animation speed just triples. And he's just
Looks
like
he was shadowboxing. Like,
but
Like shadowboxing
insanely
or
fast.
like pretending he's playing like Halo where you got like the mounted gun on the back of the wall. Like,
It is really goofy looking.
I forget what wrestler does that. It might be like Shawn Michaels or someone who goes out like that, and then there's like fireworks blasting
Like
off behind
Rambo?
him. Yeah. Like,
Awesome.
it's so stupid.
Titus is stupid. Anyway, and Yuna notices and says, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I don't know." And she just goes,
What do you want to do?
and like Titus goes,
To scream real loud.
Relatable.
and then just starts fucking screaming.
Hell yeah.
And like all the party like is like, "Oh shit, what the fuck happened?" Like walking Lulu like look back at him like, "Oh, what is wrong?" Like spin spawn? Is it sin spawn? It's sin spawn, isn't it? But
I think it's cute though that like Yuna's like checking him out. Like, yo, like
I love that. Like
although
that
it
is
although the wording makes it does sound like he's a 3-year-old again. We're like, what? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What do you want to do, buddy? Like,
well, like I feel like that's a very I feel like that's a very good way to care for somebody. You know what I mean? Like, how do you feel? What do you want to do?
Checking
What do you-
in.
what do
Yeah,
you need right
yeah.
now, buddy?
Exactly. Dude, Yuna's a good friend. Not only a good
She
friend,
is.
but she can fucking spit mad fire when somebody like Donna comes
Yeah,
up.
hell yeah.
Good.
You definitely want her on your side when arguments start happening and
Yeah.
and
Even if
disagreements
her
and stuff.
like delivery is a little clunky. Because have we ever talked about that her accent kind of makes it seem like English is almost like her second language? She has kind of
Interesting.
her intonation and stuff makes it sound like she's like English is kind of a new thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I also kind of just saw it as like she, is this kind of holy like person, and like everyone kind of has a lot of reverence for her, so she kind of like
Transcendent kind of
Yeah.
vocal pattern.
yeah, exactly, kind of like the like what do they call it, like the transatlantic accent, where it's like the one that reporters do to make sure that they kind of
Oh.
have like the most like
This morning
baseline. Yeah,
on the news.
find out tonight. at
Find
8.
out tonight.
Bees. Bees. More tonight at 11.
Anyway, so we're ready to go back and get on the boat.
Hell
Go
yeah.
to Luca. We're getting ready to have our big game coming up. We're gonna be going doing some blitzball. I think we should get some rest before we.
I agree.
Go
So
to the
we're
inn.
gonna go to the inn, and when we go to the inn to rest up because there's still some random encounters because we have to go back through the jungle.
This is true.
You get to the inn because you're like, okay, my party's a little low. I don't want to, use a potion or MP or anything. I'm gonna go, and the innkeeper says.
Get the fuck out! I did not go talk to the innkeeper. I have no idea where this is going.
The innkeeper's just like, hey, what are you doing? We're still cleaning up. I think your friends are leaving.
Yeah, she
So
says
you
we're still
can't-
cleaning
you-
up here. Shouldn't you be on your way?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so you can't even really do anything.
Well, I guess
Can't
we'll.
And I, for one last time, I went up to that treasure chest at the item shop.
Yeah.
Still can't open it.
Damn. Hate to see it.
Yeah, the guy hammer on the dock that at least says like, we're off to Luca as soon as they finish this off.
Yep.
So either way.
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and talk to we get on the boat and like some of the people come to wave us and
Yeah,
cheer us on.
we literally go to the end of the dock. All of our team is waiting there, and we have the option to embark or not yet. There's not really much we can do anywhere else.
In case you
as
want
far as I
to go
know.
beat up the nasty plant or whatever that
Oh yeah, if you haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
no, not nasty plant, the actual boss. Ochu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord Ochu, Guardian of the Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waka says,
Off to Luca at last. The matches start soon as we get there. So rest up on the way, yeah?
there's also some like people just hanging around the dock. One of them has like an eye patch and looks real fucking cool, and they're all just kind of like cheering and stuff. And then they run onto the boat, and then a little boy runs up and starts waving goodbye to you, and we
we're off.
gotta rest up on the boat
We're off.
to be ready for the big game.
See you on the boat.
All right. If there's one thing that this game has, it's sin. And if there's two things that this game has, it's sin and being on boats.
And Toxin.
And toxin.
Wooder.
Wooder. We're back on the Wooder.
We're on the SS Minnow, a.k.a. the SS Leaky with different camera angles.
I think it's the Winno. It's the Winno.
Is
No,
it
it's the
Winnow?
Winnow.
It's the Winno?
The Minnow would be very cute.
The Minnow would be cute.
The Minnow,
I think
the
it is
Minnow is
Winnow.
what Gilligan's Island
Yeah.
started with.
So we're with the millionaire and his wife.
A movie star. All right, so which of the Final Fantasy characters are which Gilligan's Island characters? So Titus is Gilligan.
Is definitely Gilligan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aaron
Waka's
is the
skipper.
captain.
No,
Oh yeah, the skipper. Yeah.
I feel like Aaron is too cool to
True,
be.
yeah.
Aaron is the professor.
I also look at Gilligan's Island through the lens of no one on that show is fucking cool.
Yeah, that's fair.
Certainly not the millionaire.
Lulu is Ginger.
Is that the millionaire's wife?
No, she's the movie star.
Oh, the movie star. Okay. My Gilligan's Island. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. My Gilligan's Island lore is not up to snuff.
Okay, hold on. No. Check this out. Aaron is the and his wife, and here's why. Even though he's like, he has his own like badassery or whatever. As we go through the game, he just constantly defers to other people. He'll be like, "We have to do this to beat sin," and somebody else will be like, "But I don't want to," and he's like, "Whatever then." And he's getting like, okay, so he's deferring all the time. He's mad about it. He's not happy about it. So he's the wife. Anyway, so we're on the SS
We're on
Winnow
some form
for
of
a
ship.
3-hour tour.
The Winnow is just the Leaky in a different camera angle.
It's exactly the week.
Yeah.
It's the same boat.
I didn't notice that it was a different like named boat until like after this section when I was like on it and I happened to open my menu. I was like, oh, this isn't the Leaky?
Here's the thing. One very shallow, stupid part of me is like, this is just the same fucking boat. And
Reused asset.
and then the rest of me is like, you dumbass. The same boat is made all the time in real life. They don't make an individually like shaped boat every time they make a boat.
yeah, Nomura doesn't.
Like in real life, that's how it works. It's like there's multiple of a thing made. You
Yeah.
absolute moron.
They just swapped out the license plates.
Actually, what did? I guess different boats have different routes. So maybe the Leaky just went back to Besaid.
Yeah. It's like it's like a septibus.
Yeah.
It's like a
Stop.
Constantly being defunded and
yeah, exactly. And
yeah, they're removing all kinds of stops everywhere so you can only get on. I will come for you, Septa, on this podcast. Do not fucking test me. I appreciate the service that you are providing.
We'll bring out the big guns if you want to get serious. We'll bring on Corey.
We'll get Corey in
who I'm
here.
sure it can dissect
Yeah.
everything you're doing wrong.
I know. Look, public transit, good. The way SEPTA does public transit, not good. They're like, let's get rid of stops. What if we just made it inaccessible, especially to poor people who might actually need it?
Yeah. Speedrun
That's how
strats.
we should do it. Speedrun strats.
Does SEPTA still have tokens?
No.
God, fucking damn, that sucks.
Just cards, baby.
Ugh.
Now, as somebody who
I mean,
does
cards
have
are pretty good.
means, yeah, I was gonna say, as somebody who does have the mean to use a card or whatever, like it's convenient for me,
Yeah.
but not everyone does.
I just remember I was able to buy tokens from the Chinese food store from the Chinese food place in my neighborhood.
Actually, I suppose, all things considered, I guess during a pandemic, it's probably best that people aren't using the coins.
Yeah, for sure.
As it
That's
is.
They
not
still
the
accept
that's not
cash.
the reason they got rid of the tokens though.
Right, yeah.
They still accept cash, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're still.
All right.
Anyway, you know what? I am not a public transit expert.
Same.
I'm just a fan.
Quick, call Corey.
So we're on the SS Winnow.
Yes. And I like the opening shot of the Winnow because it's just kind of showing life, I guess. It's just like, oh, here come the, what's the fucking asshole team name?
The
Goers.
Goers.
Here's the Goers walking around looking smug. Here's Yuna talking to a bunch of presumably her fans or people who are interested in what she's doing.
Disciples.
Waka and Lulu walk off to hang out together or whatever, right? Like,
Parent, they have parent time.
they're having
Oh yeah,
parent time.
they go up to the poop deck.
They're going to the
Crow's Nest?
adult-only Disneyland while the kids run around and play games. They go to the bar and stuff
Was
like
the
that.
I forget the lounge, the Delta Lounge or whatever.
Yeah. Right,
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but eventually we get to the below decks where the team is, right? And
I mean the team being the Aurochs, right?
the Aurochs
Couple teams.
and some of the Goers, as a matter of fact.
Is that the goers back there? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, it's the blue and purple.
Yeah.
Those are some ladies.
Oh, there's also a dude who's on the team.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
left there.
Yeah, so there's several blitzers down here.
Mostly blitzers.
But yeah, Titus is just like bored out of his mind. He wants to go see what everybody's doing, and we got to kind of run around on the boat, you know. I talked to the Aurochs, and they're all having like pre-game, not jitters necessarily. Like they're super excited, and some of them are nervous, and I just like that. Like I do feel like they're people in this scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I really like what Jasu says.
Yeah.
Where he says, I just want to sneak up behind them and beat the ... I mean, I want to get in their faces and show them what we're made of.
Right.
He's like these fucking goers.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be so easy, too.
I'd like to settle their hash. Let's see here. Bought some herbs for seasickness.
So he's not sick anymore.
Keepa says, I feel like I'm being watched.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, there's two women in the back who are wearing Luca goers outfits.
Yeah.
And if we talk to them, they're like, those boys on the Aurochs or whatever. Or they say specifically
The
boy on the Aurochs is super cute.
That boy in the Aurochs is a cutie.
But if we talk to the other one, she says, and you're cute too. And I was like, who's the cute one on the Aurochs then?
I didn't put it together, but I do think it's Keepa.
But Boda's got that good herb.
Boda's got that good herb. I think Letty is the most like conventional modern day type style because he has like the cut with the little swoop up in the front or whatever. He looks like he has nicely gelled hair or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Or oh god, who's Jasu as well. He's got the blonde hair.
Yeah.
So that looks looking good. Looking good. Them two. I think the two.
I just assumed it was one of these Adonises. But
Sorry,
like I can't think of any other reason why Keepa would say, I feel like I'm being watched.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do like it. It gives them names too. The girls are Bulgurda and Dorum.
I did not even notice.
Bulgurda.
Bulgurda.
Call me Bali.
If you fucking man, you know what I hate more than anything, and maybe I'm on the minority here. I don't know, but hate to go to a Chipotle and see egregious PDA in the corner. But as soon as we walk out of the room, Donna and Bartella were just like, I guess presumably just making out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and if you try to talk to them, Donna just says, some people can be so rude. Who's being rude here?
Yeah.
It's you, in fact.
Get a room. There are literally several down here. You can talk to one of the goers, Abbas.
Yeah.
And he says,
who seems like less of a fucking jerk ass.
He's not one of the mean girls.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one who's doing it for the love of the game, not for the glory.
I thought it was supposed to be about the music, man.
But he says, looks like our gals are brewing up something back there. I'd be afraid if I were you.
I know.
Which I'm also wondering if that has something to do with like if they're trying to like lure like one of the Aurochs into like a situation so they can like
scandals.
Yeah, like they can either scandals or just like make them sick with something so that they can't play the game.
I think they're just trying to get that weed.
Yeah.
That herb.
That herb. Or I think they're just like harmlessly like, oh yeah, those boys are cute.
Yeah, that's probably
that was definitely my read of it.
Well,
yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, one of them asked Titus if he wanted to have some fun.
Yeah.
Want to have a go?
Yeah.
We're goers.
Yes. Luzu's down here, and he has like
he's still hanging out by the door, but Gata is nowhere to be seen.
This is a nice moment.
I love what Luzu said because we've discussed him a little bit. He's not like a super huge character, right? He's just kind of been along for the ride a lot of times, but he's very like stoic. He's a crusader, and he has like a very like ye olde English way about him that kind of makes him cold in a endearing way. And what I love is that he says, it may not mean much, but good luck in the tournament. And like Luzu, my friend, it means everything. It's literally the only thing I have going on right now. But that makes me like him even more because he's just like, I don't know if this is important or not, but good luck in the tournament. You're like, it is important, as a matter of fact. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah. What a good dude.
Yeah, and the delivery of like the voice actor is like very good, and it sounds genuine.
It does.
Like it doesn't just sound like good luck or whatever on your game. He's like, oh, I don't know if this matters, but like, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah. Like you wouldn't expect him to say that.
Yeah, because it's kind of like when you're like, either you or like a family member or someone is really into something and either they or you just don't fucking care about it.
Yeah.
But like it's always very supportive to be like, you know what? I don't know about them Nintendo game podcasts that you guys do. I don't know about that Nintendo radio show you guys have, but I really hope the best for it. I really want it to do well. Thank you. That means a lot, actually.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah. Actually, my one of my coworkers today was like, do you guys get paid for that? Should I just subscribe to you guys? I mean, I'm not going to listen to it because I don't know what the fuck it's about, but I'll do it if you want. And I was like, I appreciate that. And I was like, no, don't worry about it, because like, you know, I'd like to see what our metrics are and stuff. But like, I do appreciate it though. Like that actually means a lot to me.
That's
like, good guy Luzu.
That's what my older brother said to me, where he was like, "Oh yeah, I listened to a couple of episodes, and I have no fucking idea what you guys are talking about, but it's nice to hear you laughing and like talking with your friends." I was like, "Hell yeah!"
That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, Luzu gets my seal of approval here. I have never noticed this before, but Gotza's back there too.
Oh, is he?
He is. He is laying on the ground. Oh. I was getting ready to walk away,
God,
and I was like, that's Gotza. And if you go up and talk to him, Luzu says...
He blends in with the carpet.
He does.
It looks like the carpet that's at the Gaylord in Maryland, where Magfest is.
I have a friend of mine who will not go named because I don't know if this could get him in trouble or not. But he did a whole bunch of acid at Magfest. And the carpet at the Gaylord, where Magfest is held, it has like diamonds on it. And I remember my friend being like, yo, I'm so fucked up right now. Do you know those stages in The Legend of Zelda where the floor tiles fly up from the ground and then fly at you?
Yeah.
He's like, I am living that experience right now. And I saw him the next day, and he was like, dude, when I woke up, it was pitch black, and I thought I had gone blind. It turns out that I had crawled under the Chip Space stage. And I woke up because they were playing music on top of me, and I just crawled out from underneath it and was like, oh, here I am. And I was like, that's incredible.
That's incredible.
Anyway,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
Magfest is great. But yeah, so God is back there. Luzu says it's best just to let him sleep.
I thought you said God is back there. I was like, oh, is that what they have back behind that door? Their secret weapon?
Yeah, right.
What if God was one of us?
Just a slobber like one of us.
Owaka's here too.
Owaka.
And he's like, Owaka. Fuck. He's kind of a, like, we
This dude
established.
talks so much shit.
We established last time he talks shit. He's a fucking dick. And then like, the thing he has to say about Kilika is that it wasn't good for his business.
Yeah, that's real fucked up.
Fucking asshole. He's like,
That's some,
he's
like-
like, man, they
What a
fucking
dump.
they charge fucking, or he's like, they pay an arm and a leg for the shit in Besaid, but Kilika, fuck that place.
That's
This shit
some real disaster capitalism shit right
yeah.
there.
And then
He's like, maybe I can buy one of these houses that just got destroyed for cheap and set up a shop.
I know,
Like, fuck
I know,
you, dude.
I know. And then after that, he has the fucking nerve to be like, by the way, can you lend me money?
Yep.
And I said yes, and I gave him literally every dime I had.
I said yes, and I gave him 905 gil.
So, I guess who's really to blame here?
Yeah, we
It's
are the
Owaka.
monsters.
The power room has not changed.
The power room has not changed.
Yeah.
Same engineer? Is that
Same
what you call her?
engineer.
Yeah, she's still singing.
She's still singing.
I don't know if she
Singing
just
away.
called it engineer. A Choco
So-
keeper?
She's still got a spring in her step and a song in her heart.
Indeed. So we go upstairs, right, onto the deck, and there's a couple things we can do on the deck. Now, I didn't do it in this order, but I want to skip ahead a little bit in my ordering to go to the captain's room and talk about what they
Ooh.
say in there.
I don't think I did that at all.
Okay,
I
I know. I love that you guys did not go in there because I want to tell you what they say.
Fuck yeah.
Did you go in there, Alex?
Oh, wait, I did. I just totally forgot what they said.
Okay, I can't wait. Okay.
Oh, wait, I do remember this.
Okay. So there's the captain still, who
Looks like Wedge.
looks like Wedge. He's driving the boat. Great.
Driving
and
the
then
boat.
there's like looks like a navigator.
Now I'm driving
Yeah.
the boat.
Well, it looks like a navigator because he's looking at a map of Spira, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "We have 2 summoners and the goers on board. It is my responsibility to carry them safely to their destination."
Hell yeah.
And I was like, "Cool,
honorable.
And then I was like, "He's missing somebody from that list, though." And if you talk to him again, he says, "Oh, the Besaid Aurochs? They're more like cargo."
I love how much shit gets thrown their way.
I
it's
know.
so good.
And then the captain says, no offense, but I am a diehard Luca Goers fan. Good luck, you're going to need it." And if you talk to him again, he goes, "Look, man, honestly, maybe you're better off asking the goers to teach you." And I was like, oh my God. He like even is like, "Hey man, your best chance is actually to ditch the fucking Aurochs. You could probably go play for the goers."
Yo,
Like,
fuck yeah.
dude, I love the Aurochs so much because they're such like a tight-knit friend group, but like the whole world just is constantly shitting on them all
Yeah.
the time.
They have-
like not only does everybody make fun of them and hate them, they can't fucking go anywhere without Sin fucking showing up and fucking everything up.
They
Like,
have a worse record than fucking Glass Joe from Punch Out.
these
Oh,
are the
shit.
real bad news bears. Like, man.
There's one really funny thing that happens that I was so confused about at first, but like when you first get to the deck, there's just someone who's like weirdly running around.
Yo, weird running guy.
And I was like,
he is someone.
No, I know who he is. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why? Like, every time you get close to him, I was like, oh, I'm trying to talk to him. Maybe he'll like give me something if I catch him or something.
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's a
what I
very
thought, too.
video gamey thing. And then I realized who he was. He's the binocular guy.
Yeah.
Is he the binocular guy?
He's the binocular guy, and he keeps looking through binoculars, and every time you get close to him, he runs away from you.
I want to
He's
tell you
like-
something real
He's
quick,
like,
though.
stay the fuck away from me.
If that is not binocular guy, because
He is a binocular guy.
he's a binocular guy, because
They all
that may
talk to-
be binocular guy. I gotta go back and look, but I didn't realize it because this is my second playthrough this year or whatever. I was like, oh, I know exactly who the fuck that is.
It's Sin! Get him!
It's in. And we will learn about him like fucking 25 episodes from now.
Okay.
So just keep a lookout for this guy because I didn't notice him last time that I played through the game, but now that I've played it recently and I remember all the character models, I'm interested to see if he pops up in the background. So let's all keep an eye out for this guy. Like, look at him, memorize his fucking facial features and his clothes, and let's just all keep an eye out because I wonder if he pops up in more places.
And like this game has a lot of that. Like we keep seeing the one woman who's like weird outfit we talked about at one point.
The
and stuff.
reverse hot
So I'm
dog.
wondering if this is actually like a character that comes up later and it's weird that he's here, or if it's just a reused asset.
I think it's a character that comes up later. I believe, and I have reason to believe that.
Okay.
And the reason is, without spoiling it, the other people on this ship. There's very specifically someone that is currently on this ship that has a tie-in with this character.
I see.
And
Okay.
so, I think for that reason, it's this person.
I do not think it is binocular guy. Holy shit.
But word does get around about binoculars.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So keep an eye for this guy.
there's
He's gonna-
a-
No, he's smart to run.
There's a next door app in this world that you can access from the kiosk thing in the inns.
Yeah,
and someone's
yeah.
like, be on the lookout. But it's just a shitty drawing of Titus and it says bad man. Two bad neighbors.
Keep away from the summoner.
Yeah, because he has more of like a Besaid color palette of like yellow pants. And this guy's wearing like blue.
Yeah, it's like a teal,
But he-
like a sky blue shirt.
Actually, you know what? Fuck that. It is the binocular guy. He's allowed to change his clothes.
That's fine with me, but he only does it one time. Okay, so like we said earlier, Lulu and Waka walk up on to like an above deck, like an observation deck, and we can get various scenes by going up there, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of neat because you can skip these scenes entirely.
You
can
have to
only
get
see-
one of them.
You do have to get one.
Well, to access another thing
Okay,
as
right,
well.
right.
But there are multiple if you keep trying to go back up there.
Yeah.
And this, to me, this is like the plot chunk of this episode.
Yeah,
this
I like
is
this a
really
lot.
good. Yeah. So we go up there and we're catching them in the middle of a conversation, right? And Titus doesn't go all the way up. He hears them talking and then hangs back on the stairs. So he's eavesdropping on them.
Yeah, and I think there's also an NPC, like one of the Aurochs, who says like, "Oh, Waka's busy right now. Like, you shouldn't bother him."
Right.
So it's not just like I think that's like why Titus isn't just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go up and talk to my friends."
Yeah, right. So Lulu and Walker are talking, and she's kind of yelling at him. It sounds like she says,
Well, say something. You'll take responsibility.
and we realize that he's talking about Titus here because Walker says, "Relax, he's bound to know someone in Luca," and she's like, "Oh, and if not," and he goes, "Well, he could always join a blitz team, but it's better than just leaving him in Besaid." And she goes, "Oh, what? Just leaving him in Luca?" And so like they're arguing about Titus's future, right? Like.
Yeah, the past the Bing moment.
yeah, right. Well, and it kind of makes sense because like they had this pilgrimage planned out, presumably since Yuna decided to be a summoner from like childhood, right?
Yeah.
And last minute, Walk is like,
Yo,
unknown
we got a
individual.
straggler, let's go!
We're taking him with us. And so like Lulu's, I think deservedly a little bit upset about it.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Like this is, I would say saving the entire world is probably the most important thing anybody could do with their life. And so like the most important thing that could ever possibly happen. And at the very last minute, you're like, let's bring this guy who has no respect for our culture, has been shown to just run past the rules, could get Yuna excommunicated, is an absolute moron firecracker. Let's just bring him along. Let's bring him along to everything.
It's also like the
It could
kind
be
of
fun.
It'll be fun.
It's the kind of thing too where it's like there's such a tight knit group already, and they have like that's their whole thing. Like they're guardians that
we are
Yuna
the
can
Yuffie
trust.
in this situation.
Yeah, for
It's like,
real.
why the
Except
fuck
way
are we-
less cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if you were like going on tour with
Liability.
your band, and then like the day you're supposed to get in the van and leave, like your bass player's like, "Yo, I found this dude. He also plays bass, so like,
Yeah.
he's gonna come along with us because he needs to go there anyway." And
Right, yeah.
there's a big bass competition coming up two towns into our fucking.
For non-bass players, just so you know, we're always getting in bass competitions.
Oh hell yeah!
Bass offs.
Every city has a national, like a regional.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. Eventually, it comes into the Winter Olympics is where it all feeds into.
Tom goes to the mayor.
Yes,
fans
of course.
will know about Bass Fest at the bottom of the dam.
Playing bass is a winter sport, as we all know. That's why we all hate summer so much.
And then
Low temp, low notes.
there is the fucking best goddamn delivered line in this whole game coming up too, right here.
It's sin.
Lulu says Yuna wants to make him a guardian, so she's like, "Here's some other shit too that you've kind of caused to happen." And Waka's like, "Oh yeah, there's that too." And she goes,
And whose fault is that?
Not mine.
and like, I
then-
love his delivery.
Yeah, and then he like immediately like looks down at his feet like shamefully, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Yeah, I guess it's my fault."
Yeah, I know. It's so good. God, it's so good, dude. That's why like Waka is such a good fucking character. Like,
It's like he brought a puppy home. We're like, no, like, it's too much responsibility.
Yeah.
He's peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
And now we're like, or basically our daughter's like attached now. Like we can't
Yeah.
get rid of him now. Like,
yeah, I know.
it's
It's
too
so
late.
good. But after that, we have the option to walk away and go to that next scene. But if we go back up the stairs, we can continue that conversation. We can see the rest of what they're talking about. And Waka's like, why does she want to make him a guardian anyway? And Lulu's like, oh, I think it's because it's Sir Jecht's son.
Yeah.
And Waka is even like, are you sure? Is he really Jecht's son?
Yeah,
Which, like, look, I get it, man. Like, that's a wild fucking coinky dink right
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
Yeah. And even Lulu's like, yeah, it's hard to say, but at least Yuna thinks
Yeah,
so.
like it doesn't really matter if that is the case or not. Like the important thing is that Yuna believes it. So even if
Right.
he's not, even if there's no connection, like Yuna thinks there is, so they kind of have to go with that.
Yeah, and Waka just says, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And she even is like, okay, is that all you have to say?
It
And,
says, well, yeah, I mean, he got to decide for himself, yeah? Well, him and Yuna, I guess. And then Lulu says,
You're right, for once.
and then he just kind of goes like,
yeah. And then we get to walk away again if we want.
yeah.
But we can go back and keep hearing more of the
There's a lot
conversation.
of this to the point where it like wore off its novelty for me because at
Oh,
first I was
yeah.
like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like this
Yeah.
kind of like eavesdrop mechanic, sort of. But I was just kind of like, okay, I'm tired of having to keep running back up and like getting a new cutscene.
It's like,
Right,
maybe
right.
I
Give it to me
will.
all.
And then you go back downstairs like,
Yeah.
I think it happens what, like 4 times?
Something like
four
that.
or 5
yeah.
times.
I think it's 3 or 4. I don't think it's 5.
Okay.
I don't believe. Maybe though.
It just felt like 5 to me.
Yeah. But and then we get in this little conversation about Lulu's like, why don't you ask him to be a guardian? You should just go ahead and do it. And Walker's kind of like, well, it's not really my job to do it. You know, it's Yuna who wants to do it. She's the one who gets to say.
Yeah. And,
And-
Lulu's like, yeah, it's going to be hard to like convince him because like he hates his father.
Well, she says, do you think Yuna can really ask him that? And then he's like, well, I don't see why she wouldn't. And yeah, she says, because he hates his father. And we get that, like, you're right about that. Yuna would not be somebody, because she's just like so fucking like gentle and like kind of
Yeah.
not walks around shit, but like isn't trying to make waves. Like Yuna is not a fucking wave maker, you know what I mean? And Lulu's like, do you really think that fucking Yuna's gonna be like, hey, I know you fucking hate your dad, but you should be a guardian just like your dad, following your father's footsteps.
Yeah.
She's like, Yuna's not gonna fucking say that to him. Like, it needs to be you who says
Yeah.
it. And he's like, maybe I'll do it after the tournament. And she just says, be discreet.
Yeah, I like too that he's like, aren't you being like a little oversensitive? And it's like, no, she knows what she's talking about. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Titus is a fucking baby. Of course he's gonna like.
I know.
Of course you have to like tiptoe around it and make sure you like present it in the right way so that it like doesn't backfire and just like end up being like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it because I hate my dad.
Yeah, right. And then we get to walk away again one more time. And then one more time we get to the conversation. And they have a little conversation about Titus hating his father. And Wonka's like,
Hating your own father, huh? Sounds like a luxury to me. I don't even remember my parents.
Yeah.
and he talks about how like Sin killed them when they were little. And or when they were little, that would be very weird. Killed them when Wonka was little.
Yeah.
And the last thing that he just says in this conversation is he just punches the ground and says, damn it, Sin takes everything away from us.
Yeah. There's also
Whoa.
a moment where Lulu talks about how she was 5, so she remembers her parents a little bit.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, yeah, everyone pretty much lost their parents in like a sin attack.
Right. Yeah, and if we, at that point, we're actually allowed to go up there and talk to them.
Yeah.
And I like that Waka says, go to bed, bud.
I do like
Bud.
the bud. It's nice.
It says, tournament starts tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and if you go up to Lulu, there's another really nice line delivery where she says like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I need some time to think," and it's like she's been like pretty like adversarial towards Titus the entire time. Like she's like thrown shit at him, like deserving, like he was deserving of it, but like
It was
she's
only
never,
an episode ago where she still was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
She like fucking grilled
Yeah.
him and everyone else and was like, "You're all being fucking children." But like it's kind of nice that she's like genuine. It sounds genuine when she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to think about some stuff."
Yeah, well,
she's
I
like,
think
"I
even-
can't talk right now. Like I need to think."
Yeah, and even the beginning of that conversation is literally like she is discussing Titus's well-being.
Yeah, of course.
She's like, is it better to just leave him in Luga where nobody knows who he is and he has no friends or anything like that?
Yeah, she's not just doing it because she's like, oh, he's a burden on me, so I don't give a fuck where he ends
It really
up.
is like bringing a puppy home.
Yeah.
And your parents are like, look, we can't fucking...
The situation
like, it's
sucks
not
no
the
matter
puppy's
what. Yeah,
fault. We
yeah.
now, we are now responsible for it. Like,
Yeah.
we do need to make sure we do something in its best interest at this point.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, even though Lulu's, like, not fucking happy about it, she's a little cheesed off.
Yeah.
She at least is a decent person.
Yeah.
You know, so I like this team. We had a good
It's a
team.
good team, yeah.
We had a good
very,
party of
very
people here.
complex.
Yeah.
So yeah, after Waka says go take a nap, but I'm like, is there a bed on deck? So I went down to the passenger cabin, I guess.
You
it's
know
called.
what this cab needs? Hammocks. Hammocks, my friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
You can get them down on 3rd District. You know, the hammock district. Or no, you're on hammock. Was it like? And they're all in the same place, the hammock complex. Oh, you mean down on the hammock district? That's the one.
But I went back to the place where all the orcs are hanging out, and it's there's a payoff to the there's girls eyeing.
Is there?
Oh, okay, that
I
makes
keep-
sense.
Which was eyeing Keepa, which is like Boda. I talked to Boda and he's like, it's terrible. Those Lucans direct off Keepa. I hope I'm next.
Oh!
There's like, oh, get some Keepa, but it's hilarious. So Abbas says, they say you come here for the ruins. The Oroc's gotta be desperate to depend on some wacko.
Some
guess-
wacko, hell yeah.
Yeah,
But,
well, that's what.
Some wingnut.
Grav. I don't know who Grav is.
Oh, we'll get to fucking Grov.
Let's see them.
Trust me, we'll get to Grov in like 2 episodes.
Grav will have his moment.
He'll have his moment.
Is he an Orc? Or is he-
He's
is
a
Luca?
fucking Lucan.
And so, yeah, Bixen says, yo, Mr. Star Player from Xanarkin, take it easy on us today. So I'm guessing is, and then Doram and Belgerda are back there still. So, now, what should we play next? What? You want to hang out with us? Maybe later. Talking to Titus.
Lame.
And then Keepa is just, help! So, yeah, Keepa is under, it's been kidnapped by these ladies.
Hell yeah. They
While-
were eyeing him up. He was being
very
watched.
While
interesting.
Boda is very jealous.
Very interesting boat ride.
I like the I hope I'm next thing. It's got the same energy as the Futurama episode where they're like there's that like those giant like Amazonian women.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Death by Snoo Snoo,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
like and they just keep smiling
They're-
and
but
then
then
going back to being
frowning, yeah.
horrified and then smiling and
Silently switching from terror to glee.
Yeah.
Back and forth, yeah. Those
the spirit
Lucans.
is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
But
Cuckoo for Lucans.
another great scene in Final Fantasy X fucking history coming up here. So if we go onto the deck, there's a blitzball sitting there.
Just a
totally
lone blitzball.
totally conspicuous.
A totally conspicuous blitzball.
The kid, he made it.
This is the kid.
He's done it.
He became young boy become blitzball.
Adam, are you listening? He's done it.
We need to put like a picture of like Titus like standing on the blitzball, and then like much like Mufasa, we have like a a transparent Adam face just smiling, looking down on him. We now know. Yeah, thumbs up.
Or was that is it Happy Gilmore, the
The alligator, and
Yeah.
the hand, right? Yeah. So Titus like steps on the blitzball like a soccer player might roll it up on his foot or something, and he has
Getting
another
ready
little-
to do some hacky sack stunts.
Yeah, some cool soccer stunts, baby.
Oh yeah.
And it flashes back to Titus as a child trying to play blitzball, or trying to kick, I guess, practice kicking the blitzball.
Extremely Charlie Brown with it.
And in the background of this flashback,
yeah. There's that hooded creepy kid
the hooded creepy kid.
who said don't
Oh,
cry.
Shit. I didn't even see that. I just
No Tidus, no cry.
so
No, Tidus, no cry.
so at first, when we see like Titus as a kid, we see someone walking up from the distance, and it's Jecht.
Yes.
So I saw that, and then the camera angle shifts to give you another like perspective of Titus trying to kick the blitzball, and that's where that hooded kid is.
Yeah.
And I just saw that and like wasn't paying close enough attention, I guess, because I was like, oh, Jecht's there.
Yeah. And Titus runs up and tries to kick the ball and does a straight up fucking Charlie Brown
Yeah,
ass like.
completely fucking misses the ball.
Just put the Charlie Brown but Titus' scream over it.
Yeah. And then Jecht walks up and says, wah, 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 wah.
This kind of shows just how fucking shitty Jecht is.
Sucks,
what
man.
a fucking asshole. He sees his son struggling to do this thing that like, means a lot to the entire world and to him personally, and he says, well, trying to follow in my footsteps.
Here's the thing. I wonder about this. I want to talk about this.
Is this actually Jecht, or is this his perception of Jecht?
I wonder
okay.
because so this is a flashback, obviously, and I have no reason to believe that Titus is like a cloud where he's like, you're just getting the wrong information from him. But
yeah. But sin's toxins.
Yeah. Well, I tried to think about it in my head. I was like, well, let me think about this.
Every time your kids like complain about their parents, like, you said I couldn't do this, and it was like that, and you just did I couldn't play blitzball.
In The Simpsons, where it's like, or Marge is like, you always tell Bart that you didn't want to have him. You told him this morning. And Homer goes, but when I do it, it's cute. And so I'm like imagining like just taking the text. Like I'm taking Jecht's voice acting out of this.
Yeah.
And Jecht sees himself as obviously a very cool, stylish dude or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could see Jecht's intention as being like,
yeah, because the tone, the tone kind of doesn't really match like the action, I guess.
Yeah, and it's kind of shitty. I mean, he does say like, "Oh, you can't do it" at certain points or whatever, but then he does say,
"You can't
like,
do it, kid."
Yeah,
he says, "I usually charge for lessons, but that shot is done like this," and then he shows off and does this.
And it seems like somebody who's bad at being a dad trying.
Yeah.
And being like, okay, I am going to spend time with my kid. I'm going to show him how to do this kick. And
it's his stepson, and the mom is just like, no, you have to go outside. And it's Dennis Leary in The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, so I'm reading the dialogue, and it looks like this could be like a well-intentioned like conversation, but because of Tidus already having like this baggage that maybe when he was like, he was already angry at his dad when his dad was approaching him.
Yeah.
Approaching me.
Kono Jecht da.
That he could just be like reading like, oh, like, I mean, I think about this a lot when I was like little. I used to always think I was being bullied, but like in retrospect, like, wait, were they though? Were they actually being bullies, or actually trying to be nice?
That's a good point too, especially because
like maybe they actually were trying to be nice, but I was just like reading so much into it.
And
there's
very
two ways to look at it.
self-conscious.
It's like one way we could be interpreting it poorly because of our own issues with ourselves, right?
We're already receiving it with kind of ill intent.
Exactly. And then there's the thing that's like, I mean, it's worldwide. It's not just an American thing, but men are typically not quote unquote supposed to show like emotion or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like Jecht as somebody who's incredibly manly and has like this thing about being cool. That's his job. His job is to be a fucking star. So like he relies on that personality and him trying to be like, okay, I am going to bond with my son, but I have to do it in a non-feminine gay way or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like it could be the error of two different individuals trying to bond with each other and just both of them just fucking failing at it.
I'm reading this also like...
Fellas, is it gay to bond with your son?
Or, dude, as Alex said last time, fellas, is it gay?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can read the same dialogue, just with actually trying to be kind of cool and chill and bonding.
He does sound shitty, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
In
yeah,
this
the
flashback,
voice
I know, I was saying the
delivery,
voice acting. Like, if this could just be
it's
Titus
so interesting.
retroactively projecting this kind of intent over it.
And it's so interesting to think of it in that respect, too, which I didn't really even think about, because, like, this is the first Final Fantasy game that has voice acting. Right. So it's like everything else, it's like, if there was a voice actor like performance of something that like Sid said or something, maybe it's like, oh well, he says it a lot nicer than I read it in his like tone or whatever. So
yeah,
absolutely.
You can't do
the power of voices.
But yeah, so Jecht walks up and says, like we've already kind of gone over it, but he says, "Oh, you're trying to follow in my footsteps. I usually charge for lessons, but this shot is done like this." And he does the most fucking stupid anime ass.
It's so anime.
It's so fucking stupid. He like
doesn't seem efficient at all. It just seems very performative.
He kicks the ball at the mast of their fucking yacht house,
And it ricochets up.
He jumps up, spikes it down, It bounces at him again. He straight on punches it, just forward punches the ball back into the mast, and then somehow the angulation of it works out so that it bounces straight up in the fucking air. He jumps up in the air, is upside down, does like a Tony Hawk 900 spin in the air, and then kicks the ball. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is stupid.
And
Guys,
again-
this is stupid.
Oh, it's
I'm gonna
completely
I'm gonna
stupid.
plant my fucking flag in this hill
Was
and
he
say
also-
Jecht shot is stupid.
Yeah.
Was the Jecht also part of the Abes, like back in the day, or is it a different team?
I think yeah.
Probably the
Or was
Yeah.
he just like part of the Harlem Globetrotters? Not a real team. He was just a.
yeah. Dude, you can really whistle.
You know Andrew Bird, but no one is. He's the best.
No one is. He's the best. But yeah, I mean, and kind of just going back, if we like take out the tone of how he said it, like super shitty and super like mean spirited. If he's saying like, oh yeah, like you can't do that. It's like, dude just did like 17 Tony Hawk like 900s to kick the thing, and his like son couldn't even kick the fucking ball. So he's just like, yeah, you can't do that, son. But like, don't worry, you're not the only one.
Yeah, he says-
only I can do it.
Yeah.
But not in a way of like, you fucking idiot baby. Like, who knows?
He kind of sounds that with the voice acting, where he's
Yeah,
like,
for
you
sure.
fucking idiot baby.
That's
or
how
whatever.
it's presented to us in
Yes.
this time. So.
Right.
I thought it could be like almost delivered like kind of with a wink, but like I'm the best. So
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah,
the
that's
best.
yeah.
It's
if
like
it-
it's like so, you know, like be glad that you have a dad like me to be around to teach you.
yeah, and I wonder if that's probably how
Wink.
he meant it.
Yeah.
Your
To
old
come
man,
out-
your old man is like a legend, so it's cool. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine if you can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Real Toad winning Mario Kart energy.
But after we see that, we come back to present, and we have a straightforward shot of Titus, and a tutorial pops up, and it says, "The Jecht Shot Challenge." Memories of that day still haunt Titus and interfere with his concentration. Try to shake off the memories and successfully perform the Jecht Shot.
Yeah.
And we get a little mini game where it explains that like memories are going to pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
And wherever they are on the screen,
Corresponds to the inputs that you need to do.
right. So if you see one in the top left corner, you need to hit up and left and then press A. And that goes for all the directions with the exception of the middle of the screen,
Which is just A.
Just press A. And that's all there is to it.
Okay.
I would like to say that when I was young, I failed this and I moved on. And do not try winning the Blitzball tournament if you do not have Jecht Shot. I guess
good.
it's possible, but it's a restarter. It's like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
I failed it at first, and then I went back to make sure, like you can only try this once, and if you fail it, then the game just progresses, and you don't have it for the tournament. So like I went back to see if I could actually do it and see like what the differences were, and I gotta say, like the way the tutorial comes up, it has like the outline, like the little box that all
Yeah.
the dialogue comes in. So the reason I failed it was when the memories were popping up, I didn't like register that in my brain as these are memories
Because
like,
the
it's like
first
a
one will pop up at the bottom or something where like the normal
it's like
text
random,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, and so like that's exactly why I failed it when I was younger because I was like, oh my god, these are what I'm supposed to be hitting, and I didn't realize it till halfway through.
Yeah, because it's like it does this thing where it's like here's the button inputs, here's the way it's like presented on the screen. It's got the box around it and stuff, and then it just starts and it's like in that weird like cursive kind of font. Like
Yeah, and I'm sitting here waiting
and it's
for.
just insults that Jecht is throwing at you, and you're just like, and then he's like, oh
You're basically
shit,
supposed to bat them away.
Yeah. So if you fail it, Titus just kind of I think he goes through like I don't think there's.
God, I should have said this earlier, but there's a save sphere downstairs.
Oh yeah, you
almost
definitely
does
want to
it.
use it.
He, like, flies
he like
in the air,
almost does it,
spins,
but
and then
like
bonks
misses
him in the head.
Yeah, like misses the last shot. So I don't think there's like unique animations for how bad you're doing versus
No.
like.
Yeah,
kinda-
just
I think
fail
it's
or
just like
succeed.
Until the end.
at the end is when
Yeah.
you fail it or pass it.
And then you hear Jack's like,
Told you couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then Yuna will be on the deck and she'll see you and she'll just kind of wave and she'll walk up to you and she says. Oh wait! Before she walks up to you, like Titus tries playing off that he just completely whiffed the big shot, and he does like a weird like backwards like cartwheel thing, and like is like holding himself up with one arm and like jumps backwards to like.
he does the same move he did with stealing the binoculars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like trying to be cool, and then he does the anime thing of putting his hand behind his head.
Yeah.
And Yuna says, "You tried to do a Jecht shot, right?" And Titus like walks away very anime, and he says, "How do you know that?" And she says,
Okay, so-
and she says,
sorry.
Yeah, and then she goes into the dialogue that she has if you pass it as well.
was gonna say, yeah,
So
let's
we'll go through that one if you want to take that away.
Sure. So if you do it, Titus does the stupid fucking shot where he throws it jumps up, spikes it, punches it, Tony Hawks it,
Bops it.
Bops it, twists it, pulls it, passes it, do. And yeah, and does the Jecht shot. And he's very proud of himself after he does it. He like smiles and like laughs and shit.
The best. Yeah, right.
And then like the Aurochs are just all of a sudden behind him. They're just like, whoop, they just pop up. And they're like, yo, what was that called? And Titus just says, oh, it doesn't have a name. Anyone can do it if they try, which is cool. I
do like that a lot.
I hate giving Titus props, but you know what?
Hey, props where props due.
Props where props is due. That's fucking great. That is a great way to handle that. To say, like,
just-
yeah, anybody can do it.
Miku invented that.
Yeah. And then same, Yuna walks up and waves hi. And then if you talk to the Aurochs before you go talk to Yuna, I love what Jasu says, because not all the Aurochs are up here. There's only 3 of them, and Waka. So
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, I like this a lot too.
Yeah, Jasu says, I'm going to tell Bada and Kiba about that shot you just did. They'll be so mad when they find out what they missed. And I'm like, Jasu, you're going to be mad when you find out what you missed down below, Jack.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit. Bruh, bruh.
Yeah. And Jasu will say, I'm glad the goers weren't here to see it. Let's keep it a secret until the finals.
I like Waka just says, I knew it. I knew you were something special. Like, it's so good. But yeah, so I will say this too. Once we talk to Yuna, that's our last chance to do things on the boat.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to go see other scenes and you haven't done everything yet, do it now.
Yeah.
Because I actually didn't go into the captain's quarters until right here.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, I should do this before I talk to Yuna just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So
I think you also have to talk to Yuna after failing the shot, so you might still be able to go and like do the other stuff before actually like going to the like point of no return.
Yeah, she's just on the other side of the blitz ball. Or I guess no, there was no blitz ball because he just fucking decked it out of the...
yeah, he punches it off the front.
R.I.P. Blitzball kid.
Oh my god, that child who became a blitzball is now lost at sea.
He fulfilled his purpose.
You tried to do a Jecht shot, right?
And like you said, Titus says, how do you know that? And she says, Sir Jecht showed it to me when I was a child, which to me is the fucking nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
that this is that Jecht. These are the same people now.
No one can do this but me. I'm the only one. I'm the best.
Yeah, so to me,
Sir
this
Jecht, our Jecht.
It wasn't an oject like Owaka and Waka.
yeah, right.
Oject is my name.
Yeah, but yeah, so these are the same people. They have to be now. Yuna says he called it the sublimely magnificent Jecht shot Mark III.
I hate
Go
it.
fuck yourself, Jecht.
I hate it.
Man, so fucking lame. Anyway,
And then it gets even lamer.
It
because
gets
he says,
even lamer.
He said,
You know what? There is no Mark 1 or Mark 2, you know? My old man said the name Mark 3 was just something to hook the crowd. He said they'd come back every night expecting to see Mark 1 and Mark 2. And they really did come back.
No, they fucking did not come back to see Mark 1 and Mark 2. They came back because you were winning fucking games. You're part of fucking Xanarkand. Like, you're the fucking local celebrity. You're the hero. Like, I don't give a fuck if, like...
Yeah, I'm not like, yo,
someone
Claude
doesn't-
Giroux just did a really sick fucking like slap shot, and he called it the Mark III. I can't wait to see
Mark 1 and 2. No, I
the
want him to...
less good versions.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody comes for that. Look, bare minimum, they came back to the fucking Abe's game for the fucking
Dollar
ballpark
Dog
hot
Night.
dogs.
Dollar Dog Night.
Dollar Dog Night. That's exactly where I was going with that. So, like, anyway, shut the fuck up, Jecht, you fucking piece of shit. Like, isn't that just the way?
Yeah.
People who are really, really, really good at things become so fucking out of touch with, like, normalcy that, like...
Yeah. This will keep them coming. Like, shut up.
Y'all hear from me.
The only thing that'll keep them coming is Keepa.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Keepa, my boy!
Canonical. Yeah, and then Titus says, and they really did come back. I used to get so mad.
And I get that. Big mood.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's just, what's it called? Sour grapes.
Yeah, and then there's kind of just, I think, like a silence between Yuna and Titus.
We need to have this scene of Yuna talking to Titus and Titus being like, and they really did come back every night, and then put the Onion article on top. The worst person you know just made a great point.
Just like Photoshop like Jecht's like hair over the picture of that guy.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and then Titus just kind of continues the conversation after like a small silence, and he says,
Is he alive, you think?
I don't know. But Sir Jecht was my father's guardian.
oh, so he's famous here too. And like Yuna goes on and says like, yeah, so like pretty sure if anything were to have happened to him, word would have gotten around. Like,
Yeah.
So she's not like, oh, he's definitely dead, or oh, I don't think he's dead or anything. She's like, odds are pretty good that if he did die, something, we would probably know about it.
And then they started another tournament up in his name because they thought he died.
I want to
I
ask
went home to Luca. I went to
Another
Luca and talked to him.
commentator fell in love with his son again or whatever because Jecht is back. Or
question real
Jecht
quick.
went missing, whatever.
We don't have any reason to suspect of anything that's happened to Jecht or Braska, do we?
I don't think
No.
so. No, he didn't even mention it. It was like, do you think he's alive? Like, I'm surprised he didn't ask, like, wait, do you know where he is? If you know him, like, where is he now?
What do we think about Lord Braska, the guy who defeated Sin?
Well, Lulu did said won't bring Lord Braska back, right? Nothing will bring Lord.
It says nothing can replace him.
Yeah.
Which implies that he's gone.
That's fair.
Or, retired.
He's not coming out of retirement for that last album. Or like, every movie being Tarantino's last movie.
Yeah, they'll keep going to my last movie expecting to see the movie 1 and movie 2. That'll get them back in the seats.
This one's going to be Kill Bill Part 3, I know it. Yuna says, so what would you do if you found him? And Titus is like, who knows? I thought he died 10 years ago. Well, I'd probably just smack him one.
I love
And he
that.
punches the air.
Yeah.
After everything he put me and Mom through.
What was that kid in the first scene? It was like, if we don't lose, I'll like fucking smack you in the nose or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He says, and because he was famous, I was always ... Well, you should know, Yuna. Your father's famous too. Everyone in Spira knows him, right? Ain't it tough? And I love, this is a good, contrast between Titus and Yuna, right?
Yeah.
Like, they have the similarities of being, they're both, naive-esque, you know what I mean? And they're both young or whatever.
Yeah.
But, a lot of their personality and circumstances couldn't be more different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're two individuals who have very similar backgrounds if you just dryly explain their backgrounds. But, the details of them could not be more different.
Yeah.
Feels like Titus is trying to become the best almost in spite of his father, and Yuna is trying to live up to her father's.
Yeah.
It was
for
in
sure.
honor of Braska.
Well, she literally
instead of-
says, right here, she says,
It is hard to follow in his footsteps as a summoner,
Sure.
but the honor of having a father like him surpasses all that, I think.
and so, I 100% agree with you that she's trying to, live up to the name.
in
instead
honor of
inspire
him, and versus Titus is probably just I'm gonna be the fucking better. I'm gonna be way better than my dad was.
I
Yeah.
need to be
Fuck that
better
guy.
because he was the best, and fuck that dude.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I'm not letting his legacy be that he was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Jecht
and
Erasure.
Titus says, well, Titus says, there wasn't much to honor about my old man, that's for sure. And Yuna says, you shouldn't say that about your father. And I like the, I don't know what Yuna is thinking in this, but I can read it two ways. Is one, that's a rude thing to say about your parents. You just shouldn't say shit like that. Or B, I literally knew your dad from when I was younger.
Oh, yeah.
I've spent more time with your dad than you have, in your life.
I kind of took it more in the religious sense,
Yeah,
just because of
honor
how
thy father and mother.
Yeah, exactly. Just because of how religious Yuna is.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. That's probably how she intended it. But I think it's an interesting read into it that
Yeah.
dude, as far as we know, Jecht probably did more raising of Yuna than Titus at this point.
For sure, yeah.
Because,
and Titus is yeah, I got the right. And
He says, I got the right.
Yuna does concede too. She's like, yeah, I guess you do.
Oh, that's such a good fucking line. Because that's the line she leaves him off with.
Yeah.
She just, he goes, I got the right to say that about my parents. And she kind of disappointedly says,
Yeah.
I guess you do. Dude, what I love about Yuna is that she is so good at fucking snapping back, but they're never real snapbacks. They're never real comebacks about anything. She'll just concede the point or just let you go on. At the point she realizes that you're not worth arguing with.
Yeah.
She just lets you go on, and God, it makes her so cool.
It's the one that'll stick with you more so than if someone
Yeah, I
fired back
know,
with,
I know. Because if somebody was oh well, fuck you, then I'd be like, fuck that guy. They don't know what they're talking about or whatever. But if I said what Titus did, and then Yuna's just I suppose you do have that right, and then walks away, you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
my whole world's been ruined. I've never been so owned.
Go then. I'm gone. Good then.
Or the fucking Donna thing, dude. Yuna's got two this episode.
Yeah. She's racking them
She
up.
is putting them. She's putting people in their place today.
Titus keeps getting owned though.
Yeah.
He's getting owned. God, fucking what the fucking saying Titus must be really into socialism. He loves getting publicly owned.
But then we're interrupted by a blitzball, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's
The
amazing.
blitzball just fucking wings Titus in the head again.
And he goes, ow!
Oh yeah, and so if you won the Jecht shot, Waka is there and says, "Show me that move again."
What happens if you lose?
Hey, it's past your bedtime, kiddos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's really good. Yes.
Which is what I got.
Then
That's
we get
also what I got, yeah.
a little bit of narration that says,
So if you're a good enough blitzball player, you can stay up past bedtime.
so the screen goes dark, and we see some narration, and it says, I didn't think my old man would come to Luca. He never did like watching other people play. Which, like...
What an asshole.
What an asshole. I say that as a musician. Like,
Yeah.
like
He only
sometimes I get
shows up.
nervous.
He
and-
shows up for his set and his set only.
Well, I say, sometimes I get nervous or whatever, and I'll be like, I just need to hang out in the back room or
Sure.
the green room or whatever a little bit just to chill. Because, like, you know, I've done a million shows, but that doesn't mean that I don't need to just chill for sometimes. You know what I mean? But, like, I try to go outside and watch the other bands and support them.
Yeah, of
or
course.
talk about them or tweet about them or something.
At least give me a 6 set, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And he says,
No crying next time, though.
no tears. Yeah, no tears next time. Titus says, but I couldn't help the feeling something bad was going to happen. And these feelings of mine are usually right. Sure, I had told Walk I'd help him in the tournament, but I wasn't sure I had it in me to play anymore. And then we get an option to save our game,
Yep.
which, like, always comes before good times.
Hell yeah.
Now, I stopped there.
I also stopped there. I think,
think
that's,
that'd be a
I
good
think
time.
that's it.
Okay, I was going to say,
I
we
did-
can do the next scene, but...
I did watch
So
the
the-
next scene just in case, but
The next scene is us arriving at Luca, which we will save for next time.
yeah.
Yeah, so here's my plan for next... Okay, so the...
We make it to Luca uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
So the plot coming up over the next like 2 or 3 episodes is very it's very Pulp Fiction-y in that, like, we get a little bit of this character story and then this one and then this one and then did this one happen 10 minutes ago or is it happening now? So it's kind of hard to say where we're gonna exactly get to, but if you're playing along with us, play up to, and I'm just gonna call it the kidnapping.
Sure.
There will be some kidnapping that happens, and I would say go ahead and finish that storyline out because, as far as I can tell, that's the farthest I think we would get next time. Like, if we're doing a pretty good clip, we're not doing too much, we'll at least get to the end of that. But we may end at the point where we realize something has gone wrong. Around in there. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about coming up, like not just the events, but we also have to talk about Luca, the town,
Yeah.
right? So that's going to take up a lot of our time. So
If you keep going and you find the red barn, you've gone too far.
as soon as you started saying that, I was like, I hope that's what he's getting ready to say. That's so good. Yeah, so that's it. How do you guys feel about that? No fighting this time.
Yeah, there were.
That was a breeze.
You could get into random encounters in the jungle, but it was all stuff that I think we talked about before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no fighting.
Hey,
Just
no-
all cutscenes, baby.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention there's some nice music playing.
Yeah.
Because we're on this boat, but it's actually nighttime. I don't know if
Yeah.
you mentioned that, but there's some really pleasant music that plays on the Minnow.
The Winno is just the leaky.
Winnow, I
button.
keep saying the Minnow.
So the Minnow
wiki-
is the good version. The Winnow is the
Turn the W
Nintendo
up.
bad
Yeah.
version of it.
Wombo mode.
Yeah. They set their Pokemon Gold clocks
The Wa
to
Minnow.
to the wrong AM or PM so that they could catch Sneasels
Oh,
while
hell
they
yeah.
were awake.
Hell
Or get
yeah.
their Umbreon.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Big fan of Umbreon. Shout outs to Umbreon
Shout outs to Umbreons.
And all the Aeons.
and all
All
my
the other
favorite
Aeons.
Aeons.
That's incredible. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Announcements. My band has just released an EP.
Zaku!
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 The album is called Zaku. The band is called Zaku. You can find it at zaku.bandcamp.com.
Their next album's called Toxicity.
I think we've already named our next album. It's incredible. I'm not going to say what it is, though. I'll tell you guys later.
Hell yeah.
That's ZAKU.
Check the show notes.
As of the day of recording, it came out this midnight, so or whatever you want to say that. And it's been doing really well. I think we're on like the second page of best-selling at Bandcamp right now.
Yo, fuck yeah. Congratulations.
so-
It's well deserved because this album fucking rips.
Thank you. I
It's
appreciate
so
it.
good. I've had the pleasure of getting to see Zaku perform live before
The
in the
before
before,
times.
in the
Hellworld.
before times when it was just
Before Sin.
when it was just
Yeah.
regular Hell World and not Nightmare Hell World.
Yeah. Before Nightmare.
The note,
And-
please don't touch me, Hellworld.
Yeah, and they fucking rule. Friend of the show and future enemy of the show, Corey, put it the best way by saying that it's like a cross between like T-Square and Cassiopeia, like of the J Fusion world, and like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest.
Yeah,
like
that's-
all mixed into one.
Oh, you got- let
I
me
was
tell you.
like, sprinkle in a little fucking champs, and you got yourself a Zaku.
Yeah. I will say, so by the time this comes out, it will probably only be on Bandcamp for about 3 or 4 more days. I think in about a week from today when we're recording, it'll be up on Spotify and all that stuff. But if you want to hear it now, you got to go to the Bandcamp.
Hell yeah, and
So-
buy it. It's you can download it for
pay
free.
what you want.
Pay what you want,
Yeah,
but I think
so,
you should throw these boys some money.
We're going to be donating a large portion of that.
Fuck
We're
yeah.
not exactly sure to whom yet. We may split it up. But it will go toward good things, either like a mutual aid or,
Fuck yeah.
or something like that. Maybe reclaim the block or something. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I'll post it in the Discord.
Yeah.
Hopefully when I fucking at our rate, when coronavirus penetration becomes 100%
Yeah,
and
Jesus
nobody
Christ.
can get it anymore because everybody got it.
Well, America's a completionist.
yeah, we do
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Getting that platinum
We don't do
trophy.
any percent. That's for New Zealand. But
Those quitters.
those fucking quitters. They just tried coronavirus on and was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's for me.
Yeah.
But
The shit
hopefully,
sucks.
yeah, when that's done, we'll be able to do shows again, start
Fuck
announcing
yeah.
that stuff. But yeah, I really appreciate all the support everybody's already given to it. Go check it out. You can listen to it for free, or if it moves you, then you can.
Yeah.
It's hard not
donate,
to
basically.
move.
Hard not to move to it, but yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that.
But other people at Shred are the Night of the Round who did our theme music this week and every week this season,
yeah.
probably.
And who shreds more than Night of the Round? Honestly, no one.
Hard to say.
No one.
They're
A paper shredder,
they're the
possibly.
best.
No, I think Night of the Round could shred paper and music. So
Yeah.
they're
Teenage
definitely-
Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder.
Ooh, now he is literally built of like shredding materials. However, I'm still gonna have to give it to Night of the Round on this.
I'll still
one.
have to give it to Night of the Round.
Leave us a voicemail or text us at 530-MATERIA if you so wish. Feature music throughout the episodes by Nobuo Uematsu, Masashi Hamauzu, and Junya Nakano. I'll remember it sometime.
We've been getting some good sensor and
Yeah.
and scout information from you guys, so that we know that when everything becomes Mad Max, we'll be able to fight you much more efficiently because we know
course.
your elemental weaknesses.
We're gonna have to
So-
we're gonna have to fight for water.
Yeah.
But not grow accustomed to it because we will resent its absence.
Do not become addicted to podcasts.
But keep sending us those, and we should like take a day to like actually read a whole bunch of them off.
Hell yeah.
At some
Hell
point.
yeah. We are every FNFF on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. We got a new shirt design coming. And
Oh, I'm
slash
so
other-
excited.
Very good.
Yeah, so the same person who did our icons on our website, our faces, is doing our next design.
Hell
Very
yeah.
excited.
I'm very excited.
Hello. I'm very happy with how it came out. It's not relevant to this season, but
I want to say it out loud, but I can't because it's so good.
when it's released, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing else. Just leave us a review on iTunes if you so wish. We are
Join our Discord.
The listeners and me could both benefit from this in case we are asked. How, if somebody does want to join our Discord, would they go about doing it?
currently you can just go to our Twitter account and it's our link in our
Okay.
description
Yeah.
right now.
And then
Yeah.
we just have like quick thing of rules that you just
Yes, look in the rules first, and then you'll have access to everything else. It's just a nice little like.
it's just a way to make sure that people don't come in and say like shitty stuff.
Yeah, can I get a chocobo in the chat? That's how you're going to get into
It's
our...
to keep people from talking nice things about Kate stuff.
Exactly.
We will not allow people to talk nice about Kate stuff.
I think someone in the Discord was like, "Wait, is that like? Are we actually not allowed to?" I'm like, "We're not actually."
Yeah.
enforcing that."
We don't actually enforce that.
Banned.
As speedrunners, we can't in good conscience
Yeah.
actually enforce talking shit about Kate Sith.
There is a
slots,
speedrun.
baby.
There is a speedrunning channel if you so wish to join that too.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
learn about it. Ask about it. It's fun.
It is very fun.
Yeah.
Hell
Anything else, guys?
Oh, I'd like to give a quick shout out to like friend of the show Ashwin, who
Yes.
Yeah.
is currently
Maiko also did the art for them.
yeah. So it was pretty funny too when Ashwin and I realized that we both like Ashwin
Same
had
hat,
commissioned.
same hat.
Yeah, Ashwin had commissioned Maiko for an emote like
Package.
years before, and so one of her emotes is by Maiko, and her like current like header image on or her profile picture on Twitch is the one that Maiko did. And like she was just streaming one day, and she was like, "Wait, is the person who did your?" And we were like, "Holy shit!" We were like freaking out and stuff. But she's been giving us a ton of shout outs while streaming. She's been
That's so
streaming
awesome.
through Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Also, Ashwin
Today
is a
she just
fantastic streamer.
absolutely
So much fun.
A variety streamer. She's always going through like casual, just gameplay of like different games, just playing casually. And also, she's a killer Dark Souls speedrunner and a big influence on me actually.
And
like,
a fucking cowboy.
and a cowboy,
Which is so fucking cool.
It's been fun watching her play because she has not played the original Final Fantasy VII.
yeah, it's her first Final Fantasy.
So she's going in blind, and it's kind of cool seeing
Yeah.
it from that perspective of someone like that.
Yeah, it's really cool,
Yep.
and you should definitely check her out. I know that she's been trying to go for Twitch partner, which she absolutely should be. But so if you want to go and give her a follow and watch her streams, it's the coziest community on Twitch. It's always very fun to hang out in there.
We'll probably have her on whenever we talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
So I would say to do our good duty of shouting out, you can follow both Maiko and Ashwin on Twitter.
Hell yeah.
Maiko is at Myzilla. And is Ashwin just at Ashwin?
Yes.
All right.
There will be links in the description.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
Because we got to build each other up.
Hell yeah.
Because God knows the fucking Democratic Party ain't going to do it for us.
Look out for one another.
Look out for one another because they're not looking out for us.
Yeah.
All right, see you in Luca.
See you on Luca.